Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Woo! What an intro, man. God, I love that.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
Nice work, brother.
Yeah, we're here with episode 3, man. Hour to Kill. Got Johnnie in here, special guest.
Appreciate you having me, man. Telling you guys do great work, man. I watched that the first 2 that you done, man. And you guys know your shit, man. Like, hopefully I could bring something to this, but I highly doubt it.
Oh shit, man. I know you will. I know you do. You love Bava just as much as the next guy, man.
Yeah, cheers, man, for the comments. But yeah, like I say, I've been looking forward to this one. I'm sure you'll put it in just as much as us, you know.
Right.
I hope so, man. You guys are very thorough. You guys know your homework. Like I said before, you guys are like sitting there dissecting commentaries that usually nobody really listens to. So when I hear you bring it up, I'm like, damn, like somebody else actually listens to this shit.
Right.
Oh, we're complete nerds. I will say that.
There you go. Proud nerd.
Yeah, man. Now Darren, he's got way more plethora of more knowledge than I do when it comes to all the Jolly and Italian cinema and shit. But
come from there with a notebook full of notes, right beside him.
I've got so many notebooks full of notes, yeah. But whereas like Dirk's got a lot more better, I think, mainstream knowledge than me. Like I'm kind of a one-trick pony, where you know I like my Italian horror, I like my slashers and all that. I do watch other things and I do enjoy, you know, all types of horror films and all that. But that's my, 2 things I think I'm pretty, try to be up on really.
Yeah, man.
We all got our things, man.
Giallo's, it's right there, man. It might pass a slasher. You know, I'm on the fence. I'm like neck and neck with those 2, but
there's the bold statements again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said it before, but I think it's surpassed the slasher for me now. And that's saying a lot for me, that is, because slashers were like my thing back in the day.
Right. That's what got. I mean, well, pretty much. I guess Texas Chainsaw is considered a slasher. Some people don't consider it a slasher.
Oh God, all day long, that's a slasher to me, all day long.
Right.
It's kids going out in the middle of the desert getting bumped off one by one, basically, by a mass killer. So,
right.
What's
it's basically a template. I mean, 100%. But everybody can see something different, something else. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's all subjective, right?
That's it, baby. 100%.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, man. Well, today we're going to be talking about Mario Bava, the true maestro. That's what they call Argento, but and I'm not taking nothing away from Argento, but you got to give credit where credit's due, and without Bava, you wouldn't have had Argento.
Exactly. Yeah.
Straight up, like, and then Bava, I know he got inspired deeply from like Alfred Hitchcock. You could see that, and the Krimi novels, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But in return, I feel like Alfred Hitchcock got inspired from Bava on one film in particular. It's called Frenzy. It's Alfred Hitchcock's most violent film. And I
think that film's like way underrated. I do. Not a lot of people, everyone talks about Psycho, obviously,
Psycho and like Rear Window,
but
The Birds.
You don't hear much on Frenzy, and I think it's a great film.
Right.
Really underrated. We'll probably cover that at some point, I would imagine.
But I mean, just all the people that give Bava props, like Scorsese, Tarantino, Coppola, De Palma. I mean, there's several directors, man. Joe Dante, he's like his biggest fan. Like Joe Dante, talks about Bava all the time.
All, if you see a lot of their films as well, they've all kind of pinched little things here and there. And I got at least one written down, from Cape Fear.
Right. And what irritates me though is like this film here, okay, Planet of the Vampires. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I recently just watched it, but I heard about it, like how much it's like Alien.
Right. Yeah.
Same damn plot as Alien. There's a distress signal from another ship. The ship goes to that ship. They go there, and all the people are dead. And it's like, is that not Alien?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But Ridley Scott says he's never seen the movie, so I don't know. Who knows?
Definitely a premise similarity.
It's
got Brian De Palma saying he never ever seen an Argento film, which is complete bollocks to me. And I think they all get a little bit off each other, I think Argento pinched a little bit from De Palma at times,
And I do love, that's on the same other flip side of that though, man. I love it when they give somebody credit. Like Sean Cunningham straight up said, yeah, man, Bay of Blood. It's fucking, you're damn right. That spear kill and all that shit. I mean, that's where that came from.
That's one thing you can't fucking deny that, though, can you?
And the wooded area setting and all that shit, I mean,
there's even previous where his actual company at the time, back in the early 70s, actually produced that film in America. So I got that written down as well. I'll come on to that in a bit, but so he definitely had seen that film. He definitely
the key is though he gave it props when he was asked about it.
Yeah. Well, he didn't for a while, from what I've read, but only in recent years. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Only in recent years, I think he started to come. Right.
I didn't see that. I guess I didn't.
They even put it out in America under his company Hallmark and called it Last House on the Left too. So, do you know what I mean? It's all there. You can't deny any of that. No.
Yeah. But it's definitely, in my opinion, the first slasher. Bay of Blood is, but
it's just like musicians though, with the same thing. Like everybody kind of like picks and borrows from everybody. You know what I mean? An inspiration is an inspiration. You're going to pick up on something of it, and it's going to come out in some form or another. You know what I mean? In your own work. So, as long as ego doesn't get involved, like you said, like dude's going to sit there and say that he's never seen an Argento flick. It's like, I think you borrowed from that guy like more than a dozen times.
Right.
Yeah. It's
But
like,
Argento,
how can you put out Dress to Kill and say you've never seen a Giallo film?
It could be just ego in the way
oh,
of
that
it.
was
You
De
know what I
Palma
mean?
said that? De Palma
Yeah.
said he'd never seen a Giallo?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And he used to knock
Come
around
on
with
now.
Scorsese. They had like this film club they used to knock around back in the early like 70s, and Scorsese pretty much said, you know, he was there when we were watching all these Giallo films in the early 70s. So I don't know, maybe it's like you say, ego, or just
Yeah,
don't want to
man.
give credit.
Yeah. And like Carpenter with Bob Clark, right? Black Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I've dug into that shit pretty deep. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Because there's almost shot for shot shit going on in Halloween. The POV shots, it's very similar, man. But
Oh, you wouldn't get Halloween obviously without Black Christmas. It's just that similar.
Amen to that. Great similarity right there.
Yeah, man. But man, did y'all want to add anything about Bava, man? I just feel like he don't get enough love. He don't get enough appreciation. This dude has, I mean, he covers many genres, not just one. You know, it's created a damn genre, in my opinion.
100%. He's got a buffet of styles too. Whether it's
supernatural,
I'm a huge fan of camera work, and if Bava's input on how to shoot a scene, prop it, whatever it is, like he's got his signature style to it. And you can see where a lot of people probably took that inspiration and try to use it themselves, but Bava just had his own style, especially when it came to something like gothic horror. I mean, that's
yeah.
I mean, you don't beat it. It's just I don't think nobody could even try to duplicate any of that in that same fashion and get away with it without going like, yeah, I think we got some Bava going on here.
Yeah, especially the colors, right? The color schemes and his shit, like, and then the black and white shit too, man. It's just different. It's
amazing how effective the black and white works. So like you would just think it'd be drained of all life and color, but even with a black and white film, which we're going to talk about here probably in a minute, it's just one of a kind, and you just can't beat it. It's got its own unique style to it. It's makes it a great experience, even though you feel like it's old, but it still feels fresh and vibrant, even being black and white.
Yeah, man, I enjoy the black and white. It's just a different style, different vibe. But what I realized, what I was finding out about it, is back in those days, the horror films had to be shot in black and white with the Italians.
Yeah.
That's what I read about that. I was like, okay, I didn't know that shit. But
not to mention, they recorded their own style of audio for dubbing for the longest time before.
Yeah, everything's put in after the fact, and it's
exactly
like, what's going on here?
I mean, they were about what would you say, like maybe 3-4 decades off by actually using the same technology for recording audio for film, which I mean, it goes back to like, I mean, Sergio Leone even, I mean, he's a victim of that too, but I mean, that was just, of course, you know, so much technology was only around at that time, but still we had already advanced so far and was using this new technology, and they were just like, nah, we're dubbing this. That's why we got fucking Bob from House by the Cemetery.
Right. Yeah, man. And that's a woman, right? That's a woman doing that voice?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think they did it really for like, you know, it made them, obviously they could film quicker, you know, the shoots would be a lot shorter and all that, and then do a lot of the donkey work later then, and, you know, dubbing it. I know a lot of people, they just don't, you know, like these films because of the dubbing and that, but it takes a little bit of getting used to, but once, you know, you get into it, I kind of think it gives it a different charm, a little bit of a charm, some of the dubs.
Just like like the old Godzilla films. Like, I mean, come on, you go back and you watch that now, and it's just like, whew, like the timing is like 4 seconds off.
Right, yeah. Exactly, yeah. But,
so it definitely gives us its own little charm, man.
And a lot of those like dubbing actors, you know, done the voiceovers, a lot of them did, you know, all different, you know, all the films, you know, so you can hear the same voice for different actors in different films, and it becomes really confusing. But you know, because some actresses, they never even did their own dubbing, like Edwidge Finesse, but you know, very rarely hear a voice on screen, you know, her actual voice. But yeah, it becomes crazy at times.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to grab
You
something.
good,
all
man? Good, brother.
But
yeah, no worries, man.
But yeah, I guess if y'all want to get started, man, well, we're gonna do this a little different. We're gonna start at number one. We're gonna bring the bangers right out, you know. But really, I could have made a top 10, Baba, to be honest. So
Yeah, they're all
personally,
heavy
all
hitters,
5 of
like-
these films are bangers. So
right, yeah, absolutely.
So Johnny, man, guess I'm gonna put it on you. What's your number one?
Yeah, man. Number one off the bat, no question about it. This when it comes to Bava, this film right here. Haven't seen all of his work, but I'm sure after I do dive into every little thing that he's ever put his hands on or his brain to, it'll never kick it out of this one. And that number one is Black Sunday for me.
Hell yeah.
That's the lovely Barbara Steele in this flick right here. As soon as I saw her in this film, I became an immediate fan. Whether it's the style of which he shot that film in, the opening scene, which everybody loves, which is that execution scene. I'm not going to try to spoil it for anybody, but that movie's only like 70 years old. If you haven't seen it yet, you probably won't. But
that's the one I got right here.
Yeah, man, Kino's, yeah.
But it looks great. It's a bare, that's the thing with Kino. They do a great transfer, but it's not. They lack on the features,
Darren's got that beautiful steel book over there that I will own one day as soon as I can find
Oh,
somebody who's not.
Oh, you got.
I don't know if camera
got
does
the-
it justice, like, but it's
Holy
absolutely
shit.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And you know what I realized?
Sideways,
You know what I realized that, like, hold that up there, the back.
Yeah.
The back of
the
that.
back.
That's the fucking Eurocult logo.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Fucking A, dude.
Learn something new every day.
Right?
I got the old
Yeah,
Kino DVD release as well. I know it's not much stuff, but Mask of Satan.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But this is, I will say, just before you talk down, this is my number 3. So
This is my number 3. This is my number 3. Yeah.
You guys
we
go.
made the top 5 on all of us then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's
sure.
that film right there. Even though I was very late in the game, finally getting to watch that film, I think I might have got to see that film for the first time. I would say probably like 2013, 2014, something like that for the very first time. And the only thing I could think of the whole time I was watching that movie, just the gothic feel of that movie alone. I'm always been like a huge metalhead and everything, and the only thing I could think of was how Peter Steele from Typo Negative had to be influenced by that movie to write some of the music that he wrote for his album Bloody Kisses, which is
Yeah.
that album has classic songs on it, especially like the song Black Number One, which is like this really gothic chick who's just kind of putting him in submission, basically.
Yeah, she's got a dye hair black and yeah.
But our perfume smells like burning leaves. I mean, I'll never forget like those lyrics to that shit. I'm just like, God Almighty, like just some crazy shit. But
just some witchy gothic chick,
Absolutely. But yeah, became an immediate fan right there of Barbara Steele. And that was a whole journey in itself because looking at her filmography and you're realizing like, damn, like this woman's got like 200 plus credits. She's done a lot of shit. She was a celebrity in her own right.
This is her first film though, right?
For her very first film.
I think she was 20. Is that right?
No, I think she had done like some commercialism and some television, but as far as like a
feature,
like a major motion picture, like Black Sunday was definitely it for her.
And she's like 20 years old, right? I believe.
Yeah. I mean, there's iconic scenes all throughout that movie. Like I said, the opening of that film with the execution, everybody, I mean, if you don't fall in love with that for the first 5 minutes of that movie, you might as well turn this movie off because it's probably not going to be a payoff from you, but for you at least. But the scene where they actually discover the crypt. I mean, it's kind of like a Scooby-Doo mystery there for a little bit where they're like, what the hell's going on? They're trying to break it down. They're trying to find the doctor and all this. And there's a lot of elements going on there at once. Makes you feel like some kind of like a Scooby-Doo kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But when they find her and she actually starts draining the life force of the young to resurrect herself, which is ironically played by Barbara Steele for another character, it's just like, damn.
Yeah, the dual character. It's
a brilliant film. Yeah. It's great. We got to see that in even new films use that to this day. Look at X. Like we got to see, like, you got the character of X playing 2 different roles right there.
Yeah, Mia Goth. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that probably had like a little bit of a influence there, I'd probably say, but maybe.
Yeah, there's not many actresses or actors that can actually pull off a dual role. and really
I heard
come
people
across as two different characters.
right, and I've heard people say that that she's wooden as the what's her name when she's playing Katia. Is it Katia?
Princess Aja, you want to
Not
Katie,
Aja,
yeah.
not Aja, but Katie.
Oh,
I think.
Katia.
Yeah, Katie. Somebody said she was wooden, and I don't see it. I don't know. I think she does both roles pretty damn good.
I know Dana
Absolutely.
doesn't really think she's that good of an actress or anything, but I
Yeah,
think she's superb. Like, she always nails everything I've ever seen her in.
yeah, man.
Just
And
her look
when she's
alone is sinister as can be.
Oh
Like
god,
yeah, she's
she looks like a person if you met her in real life, she could probably just suck the soul out of you just by looking at you. You know?
right.
yeah,
I've heard bad shit from people met her, but hopefully I
yeah.
get to meet her this
During
year.
this film as well, apparently she was she like basically Bava. She was saying Mario Bava was trying to film her, trying to film her with see-through tops on and trying to be sleazy and all that, which wasn't his way at all. Really, I think
No, she came back like later on though and said she just wasn't as experienced of an actress.
Right.
Is all that's all it was. Because
I mean, even back in those days, they still had to hit their mark and know when to cue perfectly. And for somebody who had no experience, of course, it was probably to her. She probably felt like, Jesus Christ, I'm just constantly taking orders.
right.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's like I said before, that's really cool that you start off with like the banger first instead of just starting at the bottom of the barrel and then waiting so long later to get number one. But Black Sunday will definitely be number one for me. I love Bava to death and everything, and the rest of these movies. I mean, probably next week I could probably change the order of them, but Black Sunday will never change because that was just that was a great experience for that first time, and I'll probably watch that movie more than a dozen times now. At this point, it just gets better and better.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's like you said. You first seen this film back in 2014?
Mm-hmm.
I was even more recent. I hadn't seen this film up until about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And a lot of people are like, wow, because I had that steelbook for such a long time and didn't even,
Yeah.
And I was just blown away, man. I actually, even though it's my number 3, I actually think this is his best well-made film of his career.
For this to be his first feature, man, is
man,
know.
It's just
and
so
the whole movie
iconic.
is just oozing with dread throughout the whole runtime.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
you can feel the fucking cobwebs when you're watching it. Like
exactly.
You can feel that shit on you. It's like the slow shot with the horse carriage and the horses, and there's no fucking sound. That's fucking creepy as fuck. I mean, iconic as hell.
The whole beginning, like you say, sets it up perfectly. It's and the black and white, just for some reason I don't know, like with Blu-ray today and 4K and whatever, it seems to pop more than it used to.
Man.
Like on DVD, you watch that shit and it looks horrible.
Yeah.
But
I feel more confident buying a 4K that's black and white as opposed to me buying a 4K that's full color. Like I know for a fact 4K just does something to black and white where I'm like, God, it looks so fresh, but it's still the same movie I love.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't have thought so, but it just works, But yeah, I love like these older Gothic films as well, and this one like doesn't disappoint. For me, I've got one of Barbara Steele's best performances. Possibly one of the best sort of film features, first film features, like along with Dario Argento's Birds of Crystal Plumage. It's kind of that level. It's that good a film. For me, it's really creepy even by today's standards. It can still affect you. It's got that atmosphere, like you say, the fear of dread. I think with the scene where like they come out of the grave as well, I don't know if that would have been an influence for Night of the Living Dead. Certainly an influence for some of the old Gothic, Hammer films.
Yeah, because she's supposed to be like a vampire sorceress, right?
Yeah.
But then there's people that die in it, and they're kind of like zombies and shit. So it's.
I want her execution. She puts a curse like straight up. Like that movie's not fucking around because like before they even put the mask on there, she's just telling them, she's like, "You're fucked."
Yeah, she's like telling them, and it cracks me up. I shouldn't. I mean, I love it, man. But when she's talking about to like love to hate and shit, I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
It just cracks me up with that shit. And what does
She
she
goes
tell
for
her
the
brother?
offspring too, boy.
She tells her brother, she's like, repudiate, or what is she? I don't know that. Damn, that's a long ass word, but she's cussing him out and shit, pretty much.
She gives her own version of just telling him, like, yeah, you're just impending doom is coming. So there's the dread element where it's just
your
just
whole bloodline, motherfucker, not just
that's
you.
it. Going for your offspring, your grandchildren, you name it. Somebody's resurrecting my ass, and I'm taking over. But like I said, that whole scene too with her, even as early on as that film was, and we only had so much for special effects that could be possibly used. Every time I watch that scene where she's literally draining the life force, I just can't help but not look away at it. I'm just like, yeah, like that. What a clever idea, even at that time. I'm sure on paper he had a different vision. They were like, no, like we can do this. We just got to do it with like still screens and stop shots. But we could do it with some heavy makeup appliance, and it looks fucking great every time I watch it.
It does, man.
Like, oh,
that's the
that
thing with Bava.
Absolutely.
He was a special effects guy, as well.
Executed it perfectly, man.
To think, like with this film as well, he kind of got like we was talking before we come on here, like by chance really, because it was like he finished an abandoned project by Ricardo Freire, Ivan Piri, and totally got given this film, his first directing feature, just totally by chance, because he finished that film a few years earlier, and someone seen how good he'd done with that and thought, yeah, we'll give you a chance with this, and the rest is history, so to speak. But
yeah, like you said too, like that's the kind of movie like you can watch, and while you're watching it, you can just kind of like start picking the cobwebs off of you. That's a perfect analogy for that film. As soon as you walk in that crypt, it's just like you can just feel how dingy and dungy, like how dingy that fucking crypt is. It's just it's perfect, man. Whoever did the settings for that, some of that shit, even inside the castle interior for the fireplace, I still watch that. I'm like, God, like this has to be a little bit ahead of its time. Like the secret passageway. I mean, Sweeney Todd even used that. You know what I mean? That was way later on. So
right, yeah. I think it's probably one of the best films to ever capture, like the gothic atmosphere and everything. All it just works on every level. But the atmosphere, you can sit down and watch this film, and you're right from the word go. You're there. You're actually in that TV screen. Watch it. Live in it while you're watching it. And not many films have that effect. Certainly today.
Yeah, you can definitely see the demons though. Like I said, man, from that Lamberto, his son would later make demons, and definitely see it come from this, because this is an alternate title of the movie too, Mask of the Demon.
Yeah. Didn't he, like Lamberto Bava went on and his son went on and remade this film in 1989 called I think it was called The Devil's Veil. Title. It comes under Demons 5.
I didn't know.
But I'm not sure what release it's got, but I think it's pretty easy to get online. If you want to just see it for that sort of thing. Again, I don't think it's got the best.
But the whole the doctor cuts his hand, the blood, I know the demon mask, that's a whole different deal, but the mask looks similar too, to the opening. But
yeah, it's definitely got, I think Suspiria as well and the Three Mothers trilogy can kind of be, influenced by this for sure.
I could see that too.
Also, it's a huge treat to listen to his son, talk about his recollections of his father in some of the commentaries, especially for some of the releases we have. In particular, there's a commentary on Shock where you could tell his son, he's pretty much admitted before that him and his film buddies of their generation at their time tried to break away from a lot of what they would call tradition. Mm-hmm. But he was like, it's just hard to break away from something that you adore so much. So to hear him talk about how much he adored his own father's work, that's a huge, I'm sure his father, if he was still alive and he heard his son say something like that, dude, like that's got to be like the best thing ever. But his son did though, like Dirk said, you go watch Black Sunday, and you're just like, there's a lot of similarities in his son's work too. So cut from the same cloth. I mean, shit.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh God, he went on to be still. I know he's not active now, but he made some great films, Lambert. Man.
Is there any reason why he's not why he chose to be inactive for so long, because it just seems like that's a repeated pattern we've had for so long with some of the greatest film directors, and they're just like, well, we had our shot, we did it. For another example, like Frank Henenlotter made great movies, and then just all of a sudden it was like, I'm done.
I think it was the Italian film industry sort of went apart back in. It was going bad towards the late 80s, and it never really recovered. And a lot of them just sort of like Michelle Swabies and everyone, they just seemed to got either they went the TV route or they just, you know, packed it in all together, which is a shame.
Gotcha.
I'd love to see the Italians come back, you know.
So basically, these film companies were just like, we're not going to finance a project we know we're probably going to lose money on at this point with the popularity of a genre.
Yeah, there was a lot of TV films coming out. You know, Fulci did a couple, Lenzi did a couple back in the late 80s, and the budgets just wasn't there. And I think it just died a death, really, a slow death.
That's the thing, though, with Bava. I mean, he didn't have to have a lot of money. You know,
no.
He can make some shit happen. And
oh God, yeah, absolutely. I think that's why his films work so well. He don't, you know, but you can't tell that they're low budget. I can't anyway. I think.
Yeah, exactly. Because they had such a knack for the way he used cameras too. Like, I'll probably beat that to death throughout this stream. But
would you say that Black Sunday set the stage for like violence and eroticism in film?
Definitely eroticism, 100%, because there is a sexual overtone for that movie for the whole duration of it. Where I don't know, I guess these people wasn't banging much back then, but I mean,
yeah, well, they just couldn't put it on camera, I guess.
Couldn't put it on camera
for the public, the general public, because they put shit on camera.
There's a film of eroticism in it, but we didn't really get to see Bava really step into a shell of doing what I would call erotic, or even there's some movies he's done that's full on sleaze to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, damn, like that
one in particular.
Oh, yeah. And I know exactly what you're talking about. But it's crazy to see the evolution of his filmography and the way it had gone throughout his whole life. God, I mean, the credits list go on. And that man, God, he did seem like before he ever directed, I mean, I think he has like 100 credits for shit that's not even his. So it's a long list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the whole opening as well that we mentioned earlier was actually banned in the UK.
Fucking great.
It was actually banned in the UK, believe it or not, which I think like
what was it, till like 92 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen
why
it.
You know, I don't get
92, man. Crazy.
And there's two different versions as well, obviously, but you both know there's they come out with the American version, the IP version. I've seen both. It doesn't work. Again, a lot of them don't work as well as the original versions. But
yeah, they got like a different setup of the movie. So
yeah,
you gotta have it.
Like, I feel like a guy called Les Baxter does a lot of the US scores on Bava's films, and he does a good job. But they're not good as not as good as the original. You know, trying to see now. But
I definitely feel like. I feel like Black Sunday definitely made Barbara Steele a star.
100%. 100%.
And I'm curious. That's what I'm going to ask her too. Like, I'm going to be like, her whole thing with Bava, and if I get to meet her this year, hopefully I will. And
she made quite a few of mine, didn't she? Around about the same time. She definitely did. The Terror of Dr. Hitchcock in 1962, The Ghost in 1963, which is a pretty decent film. If you get a chance to watch that.
What year is The Pit and the Pendulum?
I haven't got that written down, but that would have been what?
Because I know that's I seen that when I was little. She's in there with Vincent Price.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely 60s. Definitely
65, I think that was. And she's done a film called Castle of Blood as well in 1964, which I hear. Again, is a bit of a gothic. I hear pretty good things about. But yeah, it's and the lead guy I got, funny enough, John Richardson. He starred in Torso. I think Dirk will remember Torso. Murder Obsession, and at one stage he was in the running for James Bond, which I think. But I don't think he's a particularly good actor. But,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And what about that damn other doctor, man? He's just like going. Like, I know we're not going too deep into the movie, but I just found it was funny because he's knocking the shit out of shit with his cane or that walking stick and shit. He's got that big ass bat attacks his ass, and he's shooting.
Yeah.
He's not playing, man. He got a gun and a fucking stick. You know?
He fucking does a good
He's
job
taking
on
no
that.
chances.
Yeah.
But man,
But obviously it's Barbara Steele's film, you can tell. But I think that guy does a pretty good, supporting role.
I'll tell you something else, like the bed scene with her father when he's all freaking out and shit.
Okay, yeah.
Don't you get a vibe like seeing the Red Queen kill 7 times? Have y'all seen that one, Johnny?
I haven't watched it. Haven't
I've
watched
never
it,
thought of that actually.
There's a scene in it's pretty early in that movie, but it looks similar to the bed scene where the dad's getting freaked out when he's in his bed.
Right, I'll have to go back and give that another watch.
But I just noticed that, like I was watching it this time, I was like, oh shit, man, that looks like Red Queen might have got that, from that. But
yeah, I wouldn't.
I'm gonna have to watch that movie, man.
Definitely
Dracula. That movie so much,
and Dracula inspired Bava on this.
Oh, you've not seen the Red Queen?
Yeah, Bela Lugosi's line. She says one of
God.
Bela Lugosi's lines. Stare into my eyes or look deep into my eyes. And
yeah.
But I don't think it's a ripoff. I feel like it's like a
stands on its own legs.
Like hell yeah.
Yeah, stands on its own legs for sure, man. But yeah, of course, man. I mean,
and he definitely creates his own shit. So.
Yep.
But yes, Johnny's number one, man.
Comes the
is there
Gothic
anything
right
else
there,
y'all wanted to add to the Black Sunday?
No, I'm good. I think I've got pretty much what I wanted to say.
You think we've covered it pretty good?
Oh yeah.
Really good.
We can definitely tell all three of us love that fucking movie.
Oh
yeah,
God,
man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it rewatching it this go round, like I felt like it was slow before. Maybe it was a bad vibe or something. But rewatching this go around, I found a new appreciation for it for sure. No doubt.
Yeah, you've got to be in that mood,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe it was the state of mind I was when I was watching, shit.
Yeah, you gotta have the lights. You gotta have the lights low, and you gotta really be.
I can watch some really old shit. It's that's not the issue. That wasn't the issue. So I don't know what it was, but this time it's my number 3, Bava. So
nice.
And shit, he's got 39 credited directed movies. So
yeah.
How long ago was it for your first watch for Black Sunday, Dirk?
I know I was pretty young, man, because I used to watch. Young? Yeah, I used to watch USA, and they would with Commander USA.
Okay.
And every Saturday he would play all these old ass movies, these Hammer horror movies.
Yep, the Vincent Price movies.
Yeah, Vincent Price movies, Christopher Lee shit. So I don't know. I was probably 10 or 12 when I first seen it, but.
Nice. So Darren, that was about 2 years ago for you, and
about 2 years ago,
it made it to number 3 like that quick. Like that's
honestly,
that's
I absolutely fucking kicking myself that I never got to see this like 10, 15 years ago because I missed out on so much.
Yeah.
But now it's every 3-6 months I'll put it on. Love it, absolutely love it.
And I was always into. He played a lot of that the gothic horror, a lot of vampirism type of shit. So, yeah. Well, man, before we go on to Darren's pick, I need to catch up with the chat. There's like 8 people in here watching us, so that's cool. I appreciate y'all hanging with us. And sorry I didn't get to the chat earlier before we started. But,
we just ran with it.
Yeah, right? It was like, let's just go. But, all right, man. Anthony, what's going on, man? I'm glad you're here. What up to all you players and pimps? Okay. Holland said, what's up? What's up,
There
man?
we go. There's the man himself.
Yeah, Holland, man. Texas, man. Hell yeah. Glad you made it, bro.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Wild Wrangler. Hey, everybody. Yeah, man. What's happening, Wrangler? Everybody saying, hey, back. Yeah.
Yeah, in the comments as well, if anyone's, put your favorites up there as well and, see what you think.
Let's get y'all's top 5. And y'all can start with y'all's number. Y'all can do y'all's numbers as we can do ours.
Yeah.
That's my wife right there. Hey guys, y'all enjoy the stream. Thanks.
Hope you're doing good, Mrs. Hall.
Yeah.
Saying hey back, Mrs. SPC. Appreciate you. I appreciate you and Dirk adding me to your Facebook this week. Yeah, man. No problem.
No worries, man.
Let's see. You're welcome. You're welcome, Texas. If you're a friend of his, you're a friend of mine. Yep. I appreciate it. I like Planet of the Vampires. There you go, man. Yeah.
There's a pretty good community you've got going on. I've been watching a little bit of Dirk and Pops and yourself. You know, and it's a pretty decent community there,
Yeah, man.
And we're getting a couple now from Dana's as well, so it's all good.
Anthony, need to check out your House of 1,000 Corpses review. Yeah. Let's see. Psycho 1960 blood with chocolate syrup in the shower. Yep. Okay, yeah. I was telling my wife the wrong damn shit. I was telling her it's chocolate milk for some damn reason. It was black, it was chocolate syrup. But, Steve Mayers, greetings, gentlemen and flick friends. Yeah, man. Glad to have you, man.
Yeah, good to have you on board.
Hey, Wild Wrangler. Hello. What's up, Trini? What's going on, man? Yeah. Everybody saying, hey. Yeah, I caught up with the chat. Sorry about that, y'all.
You good, man? We just went for it as soon as it went live. We just like, let's jump into it.
Right. Yeah, man.
I think we was talking for 25 minutes before we come on here as well, and it just flies by, doesn't it? You know?
There's three geeks just sitting there who can't shut up. Like, let me drool over this.
Gushing over shit.
So shit, we're only covering the second film at the moment, so I dive in.
Go to your number one.
So,
yeah. I hate to do it, guys. I'll be right back though.
We can hold off to come back if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
No problem.
Just hold up for me.
Darren, have you ever seen what he held up there earlier? That Planet of the Vampires. Have you watched that by any chance?
I've never seen that one. That's one. There's quite a few actually. It was on about House of Exorcism and what's the other title? He's on the Devil. Have you seen Rabid Dogs? I don't want to spoil this story.
Dirk was telling me about it, and I was telling him, I'm like, I'm definitely going to get to it before we do this stream, because Dirk was like, man, for your taste, you're going to love that movie. I just had some complications getting my hands on it, so that's going to be one that's going to be added to the collection very quickly. So I definitely want to see it. As far as streaming it, it was a pain in the ass to try to stream it. So
do you
know how that goes?
Do you download this all? Download films at all? Do you download films?
I just stream or I buy them.
There's a website called Realist. You can get pretty much anything you want on there. I think they stream as well. I'm not sure, but
say the name of it again.
Realist. It sounds like a porno, I know, but it's not.
Okay.
But I can send you a link or whatever after we have to stream it for one, or Dirk knows I think as well. They've pretty much got everything, anything you want. Obviously, I download film. If I like something, I buy it anyway, so I don't really see it as a bad thing. I buy most of the stuff anyway if it's Italian and all that. But
absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't get round to. I was the same. I was going to get round to Rabid Dogs, and I had it queued up and everything. Just didn't get the time in the end. But Dirk said it's one of the best sort of Euro crime films. So
I know he hyped me up for it so much, I'm like, I'm definitely going to get to that and watch it. I just didn't have it at my fingertips, man. I was like, oh no, but I'll get to it. Like you said before, I think Bava's credited for at least 38, 39 films that he's directed and produced. So it's.
I mean, we can always do a part 2 down the line as well if you want.
Absolutely. Like you said, we could have easily done a top 10 today, and we'd all been like, "Oh, I could pull 10 out of my ass like that." You know what I mean? But
yeah. I think the top 10 with us would probably last about 12 hours, but an hour to kill. That was a joke with me and Dirk, like an hour to
man.
Kill.
Yeah, we cut some shit over that one too. He said, an hour to kill, is it going to be an hour? It's like, whoa, fuck no. But it's just like a Giallo title, They don't have to make fucking sense.
I don't know about you guys, but the longer the videos on YouTube and that, I like anyway. You know, because you can just, even if you do them in 2 or 3 little chunks, you know.
Yeah, me. Like all the time, I'm trying to find content to listen to while I'm at work.
Yeah,
me too.
yeah.
Same for me. Even if I can't look at the screen of something, I got
Yep.
my AirPods in, crunching away on something, and boom, like that's how I listened to you guys' first 2 episodes. Like I just, ran
like
with it right there, and I didn't have to change shit. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I got a couple hours right here, and I'm good. So.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I love it, man.
So yeah, do you want me to go on?
Go ahead, man.
One?
You're number
So
one.
my number one is a film that I absolutely adore. This film, obviously, is my number one. But the first time I saw this, I was just blown away, and it's The Girl Who Knew Too Much from 1963.
Oh yeah, man.
AKA The Evil Eye. Obviously, 2 versions. We'll come on to that in a bit.
Yeah, I strongly suggest staying away. I mean, you don't stay away from Evil Eye, but watch The Girl Who Knew Too Much first. You know?
Yeah,
Just do that first.
That. Yeah, definitely.
If you want to laugh, or I don't know, the comedy don't really stick to.
I think it's okay. I think
it's all right for its time, I guess. But
if you're a fan of the original version, then you definitely see the Evil Eye as well. But it's a mystery novel loving American tourist witnesses a murder in Rome and soon finds herself and her suitor caught up in a series of killings. So I first saw this, like I say, about 15 years ago. It was in like a Region 1 box set, and like fell in love with it. It's by far my favorite Bava film. For me, it's like one of the blueprints of the giallo that was to follow, and also one of the films that give like the first cinematic view of like the yellow paperback books, you know, the Gialli Mondadori paperback books of the early, like I think it was like 40s when they were 50s, and you know that preceded it as well.
The very first official giallo, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, it can be debated. Certainly in the form that we see it, you know, that it became.
Right.
There's a few little like 1940s films that can actually, you know, I don't know, it all gets.
But they're more like film noir, right? Or
yeah, kind of. This you would probably say is the first as we know it. Giallo, I'd say, as we know it. It's definitely like the opening scene in this. You got, you know, the girl. She's come over from America to Rome, and she basically just stumbles upon this killing in like a setting in, you know, like Rome. It's very much the same as The Bird with the Crystal Plumage in the fact that she sees a clue, she's not sure what she's seen, you know, she's disorientated at the time.
Yeah, because there's a whole thing with the guy on the plane gives her some cigarettes, and the cigarettes are laced with marijuana.
Right, yeah.
So you don't know if it's her brain playing tricks on her. This is back in the 60s, though. So
yeah,
like marijuana, like is fucking acid or some shit.
So yeah, basically the whole film, then she's trying to find out clues to who's going around, because there was this killer called the Alphabet Killer from years previous, like, you know, 10 years previous, I think, going around killing people. And basically it's like a murder mystery kind deal where you do get the clues, you know, you like any Argento film, you get clues throughout and you've got to work it out.
And did you realize that this wasn't? Did you realize this wasn't Bava's cinematography? Because I thought it was, but so I like paid attention to the credits. It's what, Terzano?
Oh right, yeah, he did
Ubaldo Terzano was his cinematographer. But still, man, Bava's had to put it all together. He's the director. He's the overseer, final say on everything.
He's probably heavily influenced the cinematographer as well, really.
But that guy split apart from Bava after the Whipping the Body. From what I understand.
Right. So yeah, you've got this whole black and white thing. This probably was along with like Psycho back in the early 60s. It's just 63,
pops. Right?
Yeah,
63.
I think it might have been filmed in 62 and come out in 63, but it just works for the film, doesn't it? The black and white.
It does, man. Have you seen it, Johnny? You seen The Girl Who Knew Too Much?
I've never seen it, man. I know I'm going to disappoint you
Oh,
guys,
man.
but yeah, I've never seen it.
No, it's fine, man.
No, that's fine.
I,
Yeah.
I
I
urge
actually
you to
envy
though,
you.
because when you do see it, you're gonna be like, "Oh my fucking god!" The
Exactly.
cinematography-
For
Yeah.
him, like it being his number one, he's like, oh, like this one right here is like definitely my number one. He held it up, and I'm like, fuck, that's one I haven't seen.
right?
No,
Yeah.
but like I say, I actually envy you because you got that first experience to come.
Exactly. Yep.
I like to think, you'll really like it.
If you have, I don't know if you have this release, Johnny.
Now, is that a different cut of the film since it goes by the alternate title, Evil
see,
Evil Hour, or is it just
they
one cut?
put Evil Eye real big,
Right.
but it has the girl who
Girl
knew too
Knew
much down here. So there's two
Uh-huh.
cuts of the film on the Kino release. I urge you to watch The Girl Knew Too Much over Evil Eye, though.
Yeah.
Evil
I
Eye's
got
in
the old-
English. You got to read The Girl Knew Too Much. You got to read it, but it's worth it. I promise.
So you got the old Kino like box set released there. Have any of you guys? Obviously, I know Dirk might have this one. You got the Arrow one?
Hell no! I didn't even know the Arrow had one. Shit.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I think this has been a long
Now you
time.
gonna maybe
Got
try
it.
to find it.
2 versions, honestly.
Oh damn!
Yeah, that's a 3-disc set.
Yeah, you might go for that one, Johnny. Never mind.
Okay.
I'll definitely go for this one. Yeah, I would definitely go for this one.
This is solid though. The transfer is amazing. I mean, it really is.
Oh,
I'm
God,
sure
yeah.
Arrow did a good job too.
It looks incredible. It's got that, obviously, you've got that film noir look as well. But
Yeah.
It just looks incredible.
You see a lot of same formula of all Jolly. You'll see it in this film.
Yeah, like I say, it's basically like a blueprint of what was to come.
Yeah.
I like the old, the alphabet killer angle.
Alphabet Killer take. You can definitely see he's inspired from Hitchcock, though.
Yeah, hence the title. Didn't he do a film called The Man Who Knew Too Much?
The Man Who Knew Too Much, right?
And he was riffing off that. I actually think this is a better film.
But
the killer as well in this. I'm not going to give anything away, but it really reminds me a lot of Argento's Deep Red, and I'll leave it at that. I won't go too much into it, but yeah,
I think it's the first time it was done.
Yeah, it's got that vibe, hasn't it?
It's like a lot of first time things happen in this movie. As far as
I don't know what you think, Dirk, but I don't think this film gets like a lot of its just rewards. Really, I don't think it's regarded as highly as it should be.
Obviously, no, it don't. Nobody talks about The Girl Knew Too Much hardly at all.
No,
they always talk about Blood and Black Lace, or
Twitch of the Death Nerve.
Twitch of the Death Nerve, or
This could be completely something else different, but I couldn't remember. I think it was like maybe 15 years or so ago. Didn't they do like a remake of it? And wasn't it like a trilogy of like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? Or was that the same thing? Or is that just something I'm completely thinking of something else?
I don't think it was connected to this.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Because I could have swore there was another movie that came out.
Yeah,
I never did.
Well, have been influenced.
I didn't get a chance to watch those. I've seen bits and pieces of the first one, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
I need to probably check it out one day. I've heard a lot of good things.
I'm just kind of curious, especially with like similar titles and stuff like that. Like you said, they even did a film called The Man Who Knew Too Much. So,
yeah,
like, damn, like, where does that go?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's bad for like a little bit of an in joke at the time.
Also, it's got John Saxon in it.
Ooh, there you go.
And The Girl Knew Too Much. So the thing about it is, like, we've talked about this before, right? John Saxon was in the first Giallo officially, and what many people consider the first slasher, Black Christmas. I consider it the second slasher, but
he
but still.
Kind of got the role by chance as well, because Leticia Roman, the blonde who stars in the film, the main star, she actually was good friends with John Saxon, and she told Mario Bava about him. And John Saxon come over with just thinking he was going to do just this art film, this Italian art
her
film.
accent, her thick accent. He thought she said art, and she said horror.
Yeah,
she said no. We're doing a horror film. When he got there,
Oops.
He's like, oh, I thought we were doing an art film.
Him and Bava actually kind of didn't get on that well at first because of that.
Right.
which was quite funny. But coming on to like some scene in the film, there's a scene like where they have this, and again, I won't spoil this, so don't worry. Like it's elaborate booby trap. It's all set up with string, you know, and you've got like. But that was in fact actually copied by Martin Scorsese in the remake of Cape Fear. I don't know if you can remember that scene.
I know Cape Fear like back of my hand. I don't know about the original Cape Fear. I wonder if that was done in that one too. But
yeah, I'm not sure about the original, no. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting because he was a massive fan of Bava's.
Yeah.
But you've got I could go on forever. You know, the shadow and the lighting in this film is, you know, just outstanding.
Yeah, man. He makes great use of black and white.
Oh God, yeah. He can, big time. There's another scene that's very iconic in this film. If you ever see stills of the film, you can see Nora, who's played by Leticia Roman, and she enters this apartment building, and it's so strange because you've got these light bulbs, you know, swaying, with the tape recorder going at the same time, and
it's iconic.
That scene was actually influenced by a crimi film, a German crimi film in 1961 called The Dead Eyes of London, which I like fairly recently bought. But yeah, like I say, the clues are all there. You know, first time I didn't get to, you know, I like with the killer, I did not get that at all.
No, hell no. I didn't expect who the killer is.
No,
it takes you, but you're a little bit
really,
surprised.
Really does.
I was gonna ask Darren, because you said like, okay, like pretty much kind of like for an easy comparison, we kind of got, you know, a little bit of deep red right here. And I was gonna say, like, do we get to see a flash, like an instance of the killer in the reflection of a mirror somewhere? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but all I'll say is you'll know straight away.
Yeah.
Like okay. when you come to the reveal what I'm on about.
It doesn't break the rules and it goes straight forward.
It's I don't know how to say it without. I don't want to spoil
without spoiling.
Okay.
There's a lot of red herring.
All I can say is you'll know.
It's going to be several times in the film where you think you know the killer is.
Yeah, maybe a character you just totally write off comes back into it. That's all I'll say, or vice versa.
That's what I love.
You'll know.
That's why I love it.
Got me excited for it. Like I'll definitely pick it up. We got the Kino stuff right now. What a perfect time too. Hopefully it's one of the titles that's discounted. But yeah, that Arrow one though, I got my eye on that now.
Yeah, man.
When you get a chance to, I don't know if you're going to review it on YouTube or not. Like, definitely tag me or whatever because I want to watch that. You know.
Absolutely.
Be like really interested actually to see what you think. So what else have I got? Obviously there's you know, both versions of this, you've got two different endings, and they're all, like you say, by the by, really. You know, the first one is by far the best. But the second one has got such comedic value to it that it kind of throws you a little bit, unless, you know,
the evil eye.
You're in the mood, yeah.
It's got this wonky kind of comedy. There is one shot, though, where, you know, like this Bava's, his face is like on a painting.
Right, yeah.
And the eyes move and shit, and it's like comical, but creepy at the same time. I mean, that's the only. I just rather listen to the Italian and read the subtitles.
That's the only way to watch this, you know, like at first anyway. But that scene you just said with the eyes, with Bava when he, you know, playing a cameo, was actually done in Cemetery Man as well with Michelle Suave.
Okay.
But yeah, I got Leticia Roman. You know, she broke into film basically, starring in Elvis Presley's GI Blues in 1960. So yeah, obviously the original version, I think Dirk said, it's got like a marijuana sort of plot.
Right.
And Evil Eye definitely has that.
The woman that nobody believes, you know, that trope. The hysterical woman you'll see in many other Jolly.
The Evil Eye version was released in '64 in the US, actually coming out after Black Sabbath and Blood and Black Lace, which was interesting, I thought. But yeah, considered to be the first Giallo, but apparently there's a film from 1943 called Corto Certico, which deals with a mystery writer who becomes suspect in a series of killings, which I definitely, going to try and see if I can get in some way. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got on that film. But
Yeah,
I love it.
you were mentioning about how Bava and Saxon didn't get along. It's it's that beach scene when John Saxon, he was a black belt in karate, and he's trying to do his karate, and he was like, who knows what Saxon was doing? He was doing his karate on the beach, and Baba thought he was showing off.
That's right, yeah.
And Saxon's take on it is, I think he was irritated with me because I was getting all Letitia's attention.
That's why he was a bit jealous, a bit of jealousy going on, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had like some kind of thing or something, right? What it sound like?
Yeah, from what I can gather, I think her and Saxon did have this bit of a fling maybe going on.
Yeah.
With, like, obviously Mario Bava. It's like the Alfred Hitchcock thing with his leading ladies, the blonde leading ladies in his films he was infatuated with.
Yep.
So I think there was kind of that going on as well. So that didn't help, with their kind of relationship. But I think it's sort of, in the end, I think of the, like, before Baba died,
I'm sure they
met up, I think, and they actually seen eye to eye. So, yeah.
And what's her name? Valentina Cortez.
Yeah.
She
is phenomenal. Actress.
Awesome. They compared her to Joan Crawford.
Yeah.
Like her acting ability is amazing.
I was blown away by her in this film. And she was, like you say, she'd go back years doing all the old films back in the day and that. And you can tell just by her screen presence that she's like a seasoned professional. You can tell.
No doubt about it. No doubt about
it.
But
yeah, the cast is fantastic in this,
Yeah, man.
Love it.
Super stoked to see that.
And by the way, I didn't mention that this, I mean, The Girl Who Knew Too Much. I know it keeps saying Evil Eye, but The Girl Who Knew Too Much is my number 4.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That seems good.
And it really surprised me. I thought it was going to be higher, but it's my number 4. It's your number 1, my number 4. But
yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to add to it?
That was pretty much what I got. I think written down. I come out with. But again, if you've not seen it, I highly recommend it to anyone. Really.
Yeah,
it's one of those must-sees, I think.
Yeah, especially if you're a Giallo fan,
Yeah, or just a thriller fan in general,
Yeah, thriller, mystery, check it out for sure. Let's see. All right, man. I guess. Do you want to add anything else to it? I don't want to rush nobody on nothing.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, my number 1, man, and I'm pretty sure y'all knew. I didn't know. Shit, I didn't know it was gonna be my number 1, but Blood and Black Lace.
Yeah.
Right.
I love this damn film, man. This is
my number 5.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I thought it was going to be higher, mine. I thought it would have been higher.
Hey, I can't really say nothing though because Girl Knew Too Much is my number 4. So
your number 1. Like I was going for that for number 2, man. Like that was
okay. Oh yeah,
that one right there.
You got that killer steelbook, man. Yeah.
Oh god, I missed out on that one. I wish I had got that one. I was like planning on getting that for so long, and then when it went out of print, I was like gutted, man. I just got a standard Arrow.
Oh yeah, that's the one I got. You got the same one I got. I just reversed the cover art. Yeah, I've never seen that cover.
Yeah,
I've seen the other one, the yellow one.
This one.
Hold that one up again there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the DVD version I got. Like first of all, really.
That's awesome, man.
Pretty good, like widescreen.
But yeah, man, on Blood and Black Lace, came out in '64, and it's got an alternate title, 6 Women for the Murder. And so Baba began work on this after he left, he ended his career with I'm probably going to butcher this name, Galatea Films. After he ended his career with them, uh, he made most of his living as a cinematographer and director, like in his whole career. But anyway, with a much lower budget than most of his previous films, Blood and Black Lace was an Italian, French, and West German international co-production. Try not to sound like I'm reading. Yeah, I put it out there. But no, let's see. So I was just trying to get some of the facts about it. Film critics and historians have said Blood and Black Lace represents the evolution with Bava and the thriller genre in cinema. Bava used krimis from West Germany and eroticism with violence combined. Giallo on screen was born. Like I said, Girl Knew Too Much is considered the first Giallo, but Blood and Black Lace, the use of color that he does in Blood and Black Lace, the killer, the faceless killer with no features, the iconic fedora with the black trench coat. Y'all can see down here that picture right there.
Yep.
Shit, it just, man, the black glove killer, man, so many things. I could watch this shit so many damn times. I mean, it never gets old. The twist in it is like, what the shit? You know, it's like there's several twists. But
yeah.
Everybody's got secrets.
Yeah,
the whole
man.
movie's about everybody has secrets, and one diary fucks them all up.
Yep. The diary is the killer's trying to find the diary that could, jeopardize obviously him or her, whoever,
But like with Black Sunday, the fucking opening of this is incredible. That scene with the girl getting stalked in the park.
The costumes automatically
the red
like the
rain jacket and shit.
Movie.
Yeah.
Like just
and
the what they're wearing.
Yeah.
When it's we got partial nudity in this film. For that scene right there, it's on the cover of his on his DVD that he held up right there, which is the bathtub scene. We actually get partial nudity in a Bava film, which we got later on. But keep in mind, this was years before. Like he beat Argento by like 4 years with Bird with the Crystal Plumage with Blood and Black Lace, and it actually had like some pretty nice sleaze and nudity to it. Which I'm a pervert. Fuck it, I love that stuff.
Fuck me, man. I'm the same, man.
Right.
There's some nudity coming up in one of his other films I'm going to mention as well. But yeah, I think as a red hot blooded male, I think that we love all these giallo scenes, like that.
As men, we all love the costumes that Bava got the girls to wear for this movie because everything is really revealing.
Yeah.
And this is 1964 too, so
yeah.
So it takes place in a fashion house. I mean, it's a lot of things that many others Johnnie are going to use later. Come from
the Fashion Age thing. Actually, this was the first one. It must have been. And there's so many great, giallos to follow with that setting as well. It's such a great setting.
The beautiful models, the beautiful women.
Exactly. Yeah, you've got the mannequins and all that who look creepy. It just sets it up. It's a great sort of setting for a giallo film.
And I gotta mention the killer, man.
Oh,
fucking mean.
Man. That guy's
fucking mean motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Before it slips away too, we were talking about you were talking about the alternate cut for The Girl Who Knew Too Much, was it being like a comedy scene for Evil Eye with like the eyes in the painting. For me, whenever we see our guy have the epileptic seizure at the police station, dude, Jesus Christ! Every time I see that scene, that shit's funny as hell.
Yeah, I got that written down exactly the same way. It cracks me up every time. Unintentionally funny, brilliant.
Man. And they're like, just get him out of here, like it ain't.
Haul him out.
So he got out of that shit.
I don't know how they actually thought I was, trying to replicate an actual epileptic, because there's nothing like that at all.
No.
This guy just freaks out, doesn't he?
Or it's convulsing like a son of a bitch.
Yeah. Crazy.
Speaking of Blood and Black Lace, man, which that's, like Dirk said, what an amazing color palette. Is there a film that you guys that have seen that predates Blood and Black Lace that actually uses a similar color palette like that in a way that stands out?
Not that I can think of.
I'm 64. I'm trying to think. Nothing that comes to mind.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he started that shit because he's
Yeah.
he's like a master with lighting,
Mhm.
cinematography. He was also a set designer early when he was working for his father. His father was a cinematographer as well, I believe.
Yeah.
And
I-
so he started like very first started out set design,
right
in special effects, and then moved on. I guess it's in the blood, right? And it went down to his son too.
Yeah.
Can you
One
imagine
of the first
what?
things.
What's that?
Go on.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, like, one of the first things
Okay.
I was pointed out to, like, even my wife, who's like, she doesn't even know this stuff year for year or by director, and probably couldn't tell you that much apart unless she saw the credit names herself. She was like, man, this is like really early on. She was like, this even predates Argento. So I'm assuming Bava was probably the first one to show us like these weird color palettes for these movies. And she was, of course, like comparing it to, like, the Suspiria and all these other films that we all love and seen millions of times. But that's why I was asking you guys, did you guys ever see any film that would even predate Blood and Black Lace that even was kind of even closely similar? So it was pretty much easy to say that Bava kind of started that tradition of like using such these weird color tones for his movie. And sometimes he even set it up to let you know, like, got a warning just by a color palette that he was using at the time that something's about to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point because his story might not, in dialogue, might not be fleshed out all the way, which is great because his visual storytelling, like what that old saying, you tell a thousand words with a picture, right?
There you go.
He in each frame of a Bava film, it's a mind blowing shit to me. I appreciate the shit out of it, but
It's almost like a painting each scene. Like it's like a masterpiece. Just the visuals alone is what
I didn't bring that up either because he started out. Bava wanted to be a painter, and he did
Right,
paintings.
that makes sense.
He did paintings, and he wasn't making no money at it. And so he said, "Film will be my paintbrush."
Right.
Straight up,
Yeah.
that's what he said.
That
He
completely makes sense. Like totally.
Yeah, and you see it. And it's like, but
I think like with Bava as well. Like you say, he started the giallo basically. He started the slasher film basically.
yep.
I know we've mentioned that before, but
We haven't talked about Kill Baby Kill, but going through all this, I start seeing because these are old, the Bava stuff's older stuff. So in Kill Baby Kill, you can see the look of the little girl.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Carol Ann. I know it's not,
right, yeah.
So many things that people must have been inspired from Bava, man. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I know I keep going on about that, but it's mind blowing to me. Like, I never realized how much, how many different genres.
But this film is incredible. I totally agree with you. I think
high tier level giallo masterpiece.
Yeah, and like I said, I put it number 5, but don't mean there's not much between my top 5. Anyway,
that's not a bad deal though, because like I said, he's got 39 films that he directed.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but
like
even
I said,
the
it's been easy to do a top 10. There's a couple films that I was debating on trying to make my 5th spot. So
yeah. Even I got pretty much at least like one big film that didn't make my top 5 from him, which I'll mention later. But even the jazzy soundtrack to this is like just amazing. Like in the opening, and God, I was quite surprised because, like we mentioned, there's without spoiling things, there's a thing towards the end where I don't know if it's going to be spoiling it to say maybe that we maybe get more than one killer. I've said in it, but I don't think that's a massive spoiler in any way. I can't think of too many films before that did that.
No.
So I think it started that trend as well, which is incredible. I was going to say, can you imagine if he was alive today with the talent that he's got? He would have just been right up there with the best. He could come in any era and dominate, and he just did not get the.
He don't get the the recognition.
Recognition? No, he basically they asked him to go to America to make it big in America, and he turned it down because he's such a homebody. He wanted to stay in Italy.
He's going to stay in Italy. His whole he could have got big, and he knew he could have got big. He didn't want to.
I think it's a bad decision for his bank account, but it was a good decision for the fans because of the films that we got, to come later.
Could you imagine America though, Hollywood, like what they would have turned a lot of his shit into? If they would have got their hands on it, on some of his.
That's
stuff.
a scary thought.
Yeah,
that's a scary thought.
So that's a good thing.
I don't think he's had, apart from that Black Sunday film I was on about with his son, I don't think he's had any remakes, has he? Or they've had any remakes of his films from what I can gather.
Maybe people tried to, do something similar.
Yeah, it's debatable because a lot of this film in general, has been copied probably 150 times in different ways,
and that damn weapon the killer's using too is.
The
three-prong.
Yeah, it's crazy as hell.
Well, I got written down here, which I was quite surprised that the film actually flopped in Italy. Again, we was on about the Bava thing, but it was a massive success in America. So that's when they said, come over to America and he turned it down, which is crazy. But usually, if it was today, money talks, doesn't it? So he'd have been there like a shot probably. But I say, Bava probably wouldn't have, but most people would be there like a shot. I think Bava was just old fashioned and stuck to his guns. Good for him really for doing that.
And the whole deal with the cocaine addicted boyfriend with the
right.
I mean, he's definitely crossing some lines. I could imagine.
That was early on too, man. That was way early on.
Again, this was like one of the first films for like red herrings as well. All the way through this film, you don't trust anyone. Everyone could be a suspect. And again, I can't say that was done.
Did y'all have the Arrow version?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you watch the short? There's a short movie on there, and it's called Yellow.
Oh right, I've not seen it, but I'm aware of it.
It's pretty cool, man. It's like 26 minutes, but
isn't it like one of these sort of Giallo, up to date Giallos? Because I don't know.
It's kind of like an homage. It's kind of
that's it.
That's the way I see it. It's kind of giving love to the genre.
Something like a Mia or something like that. I've read about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
So the working title to this, I don't know if you know, was called The Fashion House of Death.
No, I only knew the other title that Six Women for the Murderer.
Yeah, I think I was translated from 6 Women for the Assassin. But Cameron Mitchell's in this, and he's quite funny. He's not the best actor in the world, but he was actually paid, in cash with a suitcase.
He was in those
every week
Hercules movies, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's been in loads of stuff. But yeah, he was paid because he had such a bad drinking and gambling addiction, and obviously for tax reasons, he just had all his money paid in cash. And apparently during the filming, he's just living it up the way only he can do, which I thought was funny.
Right.
But yeah, Cameron Mitchell's fantastic,
Yeah, man, I watched a interview with Cameron Mitchell about working with Bava. He loved it, man. He had nothing but good things to say about Bava. It was pretty good. I checked it out. Forget where I saw that at, but it was pretty in depth on his filmography. He's been in a ton of movies too. But
kind of curious, Dirk. Did you get Tasha to sit down by any chance and watch it with you? Because that's a movie I think she would probably like, especially like loving kind of shit like.
She won't. That's the thing is though, she won't watch anything old. She tells me that all the time.
She's not black and white though. I mean, it's got a really
not black and white, but she'll ask me what year something came out. And I'll be like, she won't do it.
Brother, I think this is one of those things where it's like I would never tell another married man this, but sometimes it's okay to just say you don't know when you do know.
Yeah. Well, like I'll put something on and she'll try, but she'll be like, it looks old, and then she'll give up on it. But Too many times. But sometimes now I'll get her. I'll get her on something like. But it's usually got to be like something in the late '80s, early '90s. That's about as far. Because Silence of the Lambs, she'd never seen it, and I was like, "What?" She loves that movie. That's her favorite movie.
Yeah, that film's timeless. So even though it's back in the early '90s, you can watch that today, and it still resonates today.
There she is. I see her in there. I got to get to the chat, y'all. Before we get to the round or the second pick, I'm just gonna see what these people are saying. Hey, to everybody. Okay, Rye, the horror guy. What's up, man? You guys like So Sweet, So Dead? I was thinking about getting it on the Kino sale. I just got it on the Kino sale.
It's decent. I'd say if you really like your old 70s giallo, then you'll like it. Whether I would, it's not a top tier film, but it's worth having. Yeah, it's worth getting onto.
Right.
It's very black. You've got the Black Web Killer and all that. If
I haven't seen it, so I'm interested to check it out. But I just got it myself, so And he's asking, Dirk, what do you consider the first slasher, Peeping Tom or Psycho? And to me, I don't consider either one of those the first slasher. I feel like they're psychological horror, both of them. I feel like the first slasher is a movie we're going to talk about. I'm sure we're going to talk about.
You know it.
Bay of Blood. Right. But my preferred title of it is Twitch of the Death Nerve.
Yeah. I would actually say the first slasher film that I know of is probably Night of Terror from 1933. Where you got this killer on a boat. That's worth checking out. Black and white. It's all black and white film, but it's got that slasher formula.
Oh, it does?
So check that out.
Night of Terror, 1953?
1933.
33?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
We're going back, brother.
Yeah.
Movie's almost 100 years old, man.
For a long time, I was thinking Black Christmas, but until I found out about Bay of Blood.
It's subjective, like you say, what the first actual slasher. The first probably, great, really well-known, well-made slasher is probably Black Christmas, but...
And you would think too, just by saying the term slasher, you're automatically in your mind, you're working this thing up where we're all familiar with that genre being like multiple victims. Like it's just there's isolation. They get stranded out in the middle of nowhere and they get picked off one by one. Most people say that's a slasher for either one of those films right there. There's the body count is not that prevalent, but great films nonetheless. But like Dirk said, more that's like psychological horror where.
Yeah,
you're not just
don't
watching
really
the screen
see...
and everybody's getting stabbed the whole time. You know what I mean? Like one's getting picked off one by one.
Right.
Well, you can even go back to 1945 where you've got 10 Little Indians, and then there's actually a film Agatha Christie, got to get that right. 1945 film called And Then There Were None, which is adapted from one of the books.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
That could quite easily pass as one of the first. So if you do your exploring and have a good look, you can come up with some gems. Some of these early films are some gems.
But like the slasher we know and love, like with the teens, the young teens being somewhere they're not supposed to be, type of shit, and having premarital sex, doing drugs, all that shit.
I think all that's like Halloween onwards, in it. 78 onwards kind of thing.
Right. But Vinicio, man, hope you're still in here, brother. And he said, "What's up, brother Dirk? What's up, man? Glad you made it. Masters of the 80s, Tony.
Oh, what's up?
Hello, gents. I hope you're all well. Yeah, man, doing pretty good. Trying to hang in there. Everybody saying, hey. My wife, Tasha, she's saying, are you telling my secrets? Yeah, pretty much. Start watching these movies with me and I won't have to do that. You guys are kick-ass, very thorough. Well, thanks, babe, but I know you're a bit biased, but, appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Chubbs? What's going on, man? Glad you made it, man. Well, that's our number ones, and we're an hour 24 minutes in.
Woo! Wow.
But that's okay. I'm if we need to take a break, or if somebody needs to take a break, just let me know. I kind of had to go take a break for a second, but
I was going to say, I was going to apologize in advance if you guys kind of hear a little puppy whimpering in the background. It's just mine over here. He finally had his shots this morning, so he's a little sore.
Yeah,
so
man.
You hear like a dog like whimpering. Yeah, that's on my end.
I got a cat here now, and it's I feel like I'm in like Edgar Allan Poe, because he's getting to that stage, and he's like fucking running around and shit, going crazy. So I gotta watch my back, man. He'll sneak attack my ass when I'm like,
got you. Caught you slipping.
Yeah. Do y'all need to take a break or anything?
I'm good, man.
I can last, I think, for a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go with number 2, man. What's your number 2, Johnny?
Yeah, number 2, man. Like you said, you held it up for your number 1, man. That's of course none other than Blood and Black Lace right there.
Yeah. We just talked about it, so we covered it thorough. But
here's a funny thing about that movie, and I'll just sum it up right quick, man, because I mean it's in my number 2 spot for a reason. But it's been a while since I actually revisited that, and then when we decided to do this, I'm like, all right, I love that movie the first time I watched it. I'm gonna go back and revisit it again because it's been a while. And I watched it again. I completely had a newfound love for it. And I was just like, wow, man, like I kind of put this to the side a little too quick on that first view and a while back.
It definitely takes a couple watches for sure.
Yeah, I think I watched it like on a Monday night, and then Tuesday night the missus was off of work, and I was like, hey, I want you to check this movie out. And that's when we kind of had the whole conversation. She was like, wow, man, she's like, look at the colors of this. And I'm like, yeah, that actually predates anything Argento had even done at that point. Like, I think we got like maybe there's probably about 5 years, maybe a little bit longer before he did A Bird with Crystal Plumage. Anything like that. But she was like talking about the colors of it. She's like, kind of reminds me of Suspiria a little bit just by the colors and everything. I was like, yeah, this is way before that. But
oh yeah,
that film right there. To me, that's through and through right there. We might call that giallo or whatever you want to call it, man. But that's the perfect setup for a slasher film. Like there's like the tagline of that. I mean, there's 6 girls. They're all going to get killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody has. It doesn't break any traditional rules neither. There's no superstitious element to that film whatsoever. It's just the secrets that people keep from one another that ends up fucking them over in the end. And that's pretty much everybody's wanting to keep this hush hush kind of shit where they're like, okay, well, we'll go to the extent of killing fucking people, not to spoil it. Yeah. But everybody's kind of getting picked off because everybody has these dirty ass secrets, whether it's from abortions, drug habits. I mean,
it's some big old topics for that day.
Big topic, especially for like the 60s and everything. Like we was even saying, like we have a character in there that's fully like addicted to cocaine, and cocaine hadn't even exploded in America until the 80s. So
right,
one of those things, man. But that flick right there, I love the hell out of it. Definitely, number 2 right there behind Black Sunday for me.
Hell yeah, man.
So I made everyone's list then, good.
Yeah. Number 2, Darren. What you got, man?
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
So this might
go ahead.
Go on. Do you want me to go?
Somebody got a question. Wild Wrangler got a question.
Yeah, go on. Go with the question if you want.
Did y'all like the Masters of Horror series? Yeah, man. Yeah, the one I haven't seen everything, but yeah, I like a lot of what I've seen.
I fucking love those like 2 series. I go back and watch them all the time. I can watch them on a loop, like it's just something. Go on, sorry.
I'm sorry, man. You're still going. I was
trying
to think I think one of the very first episodes of it was John Carpenter's. Was it Burnt Cigarettes or something like that?
Cigarette Burns. Yeah,
Cigarette Burns. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Thing,
Norman.
Well, you said
Norman Reedus actually plays the projectionist in that film. I love the hell out of that one.
I like Pelts. Pelts I liked a lot too with Argento, and it had Meatloaf.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back and revisit a lot of that because I have them on DVD, and it's just one of those things where you pull one out and you'd only watch like 4 or 5 of them, and then come back to it a little later. I have to revisit a lot of those.
Absolute great episodes of that. Have you guys seen Incident in and on Mountain? I think was it In and on a Mountain Side or something? It's Don Coscarelli's one. I'm probably butchering the name. In an
Talking about the one with the car wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. You got Jennifer, which Dario Argento.
Yeah, Jennifer.
made.
I remember that one.
Dreams in the Witch House, I like a lot. That's really underrated one.
What's that Lovecraft one? I'm trying to remember. It's inspired by Lovecraft, I'll say.
Yeah, I think that was Dreams in the Witch House, John, about.
Think so.
Might be, yeah. Some good. There's Chocolate. There's what's the word? There's one with George Wenton as well. Really like a comedy one. Got John Landis, Dear Woman. I think, they're not all hits, but a lot of them are for me. So yeah, definitely.
I haven't thought about that series in so long. Thanks for bringing that up, while regulars. That's something I'm going to kind of dig back out of the box and
man.
Go back into.
It only has DVD release too, right?
Yeah, last of my knowledge, like they actually did like some really nice sets of it, where they actually did like these replica sets for it, for the show, and that was great. But I'm not sure if they ever been converted to Blu-ray, which is a shame. Just like Tales from the Crypt, like when we're gonna finally get that shit on Blu-ray, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
Imprint is another one that just come to mind. Takeshi Miike, or whatever you pronounce it. That's another good one. I was banned when it first came on the TV in that series, but the uncut version's on DVD. So yeah, great series. Did you guys get to see Fear Itself? That come a little bit later.
It's been a long time, because I remember seeing them when they first came out.
Right, yeah.
And I don't have
it's not as good Fear Itself, but
yeah,
I suppose it's worth curiosity is worth a watch.
I'll have to try to find them and get on that. Chubb's got he says, haven't been able to watch any Mario Bava films, but I was able to watch Tenebrae, Opera, and Footprints on the Moon this week. Can't wait to check out Mario's films. Man, those are two big Argentos. Yeah, for sure. I haven't seen Footprints on the Moon. I'm sure Darren has, but
yeah, I every time that film's brought up, I wax lyrical about it. For me, it's one of my favorite films, Luigi Bazzoni.
Okay.
But yeah, you've got to watch that, man.
Yeah, I have to check it, man. I just got too many films to watch. Not enough time,
Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it? Yeah.
But I will get to it. I
put it on the list.
It's hard to put priority. What's going to be priority when you got so many titles? It's like, damn it. But we got Tony in here. Basement Blues. What's going on, Tony? Man? Yeah.
Hope you're doing good, man.
The Day the Sky Exploded, directed by Paulo Hush and Mario Bava. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to check that one out, to be honest, but I've heard about it for sure.
Oh, I didn't see
That's a hell of a title, ain't it? The Day the Sky Exploded. People saying, hey. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, what's your number 2, Darren?
So yeah, this might come as a bit of a surprise to anyone, but it's film I absolutely love. The more I see it, like it just gets a bit higher every time, and it's 5 Dolls for an August Moon.
Oh wow! Okay,
that's the old Kino roost, and I think there's the Arrow.
Oh, you got the Kino?
Yeah, the old DVD I first bought.
Okay, yeah, that's the only one I got. Is the Kino.
Oh, right. Yeah. And this is
a pretty solid one. I know you can't see it, but I do got a picture of that. Let's see. No, I can't do that. Okay, never mind. But yeah.
So yeah, this is a film that just we covered on a bit of backstory. We covered it on the Eurocult podcast.
Yeah.
I think Steve picked it, and I'd always liked it, but like when we went back and watched it for that show, it just kind of clicked with me. And it's kind of, I doubt if this is on either of your 2 lists, yeah? Would I be right?
I don't have it in my top 5.
Not mine.
Right.
It'd be in my top 10 somewhere, but it's not.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, where to start with this one. You know, you've got like when an inventor takes a group of investors for an island vacation, an unseen murderer kills them off one by one, and it's very much Agatha Christie, like I just mentioned a while ago. They're all these people are sort of secluded on this island. You've got this guy who's got some kind of formula for this, this rich kind of like he's some sort of scientist. So they're all after this formula off him, and they're all trying different ways to get this out of this guy. They're offering him millions of pounds,
Right.
and he's saying no to all of them. So, like, they're all on this island. They're all different characters, every one of them. You've got Edwidge Finesse, the Giallo Queen herself, who's absolutely stunning. Howard Ross, I think, people would know from New York Ripper. And
you consider Edwidge your favorite?
What's that?
Would you consider Edwidge Finesse your favorite?
Yeah, hands down.
The Giallo Queen.
Yeah. I'd say Barbara Boucher's a close second.
Barbara Boucher's there, but Laura Strindberg. Don't get.
Yeah, she's up there for me, man. Yeah.
Laura
I know
Strindberg.
Steve don't like it, does he? On New York, or doesn't, because I think she's got fake breasts, so he's not impressed with that. But I do. I actually like her a lot.
I'm just saying, like her acting, man. Like in Your Vice, fucking killer.
Oh, she's like that.
I'm not trying to stray from your pick, man.
No. Oh, don't start me. I could talk.
But yeah, her acting is. I think she's
phenomenal.
In my opinion.
Yeah. But definitely. But yeah, I first saw this about 10 years ago on that. There's like a Kino release, Region 1 DVD.
Yeah.
Upgraded to the Arrow, of course, and then it just seemed to like click because the actual picture quality on that Arrow release is amazing. Completely changed my mind. Mario Bava, regarded this as his worst film, which I was surprised. I was like shocked by that. Yeah.
This is his worst film.
Yeah, he was basically a director for hire on this film. He got it with it, and he had to, within a couple of weeks, he had to start filming when he got it. He wanted to rewrite the script, but they wouldn't, didn't have time to do that. So he's basically just jumped straight in 2 or 3 weeks. It was all over within, I don't know, another 2 or 3 weeks. So, and for that, it's got no right to be as good as what it is, I think. And it's got that Giallo vibe, you got the dance at the start with Edwidge Finesse, almost stripping off. You've got like a fake murder scene at the start. It's got everything you want, one of these early, 1970s Giallo.
It's got that setting by the water and all too.
Oh yeah,
real similar to Bay of Blood in a way.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's like in the swamp, right? Like
it's like on the.
Or am I mixing them up?
No, it's kind of like on the beach.
Okay.
And you've got, but I think that's part of the reason to love this film. The gorgeous locations are just stunning in every way. You got it like this really 70s or 1960s, I should say, stylized house on top of like a cliff, and you've got to see like the design of that place as well. It's just amazing. Just takes you right back in time.
It's like a modern type home too, right?
Yeah, for the time, yeah,
time.
But it's very 60s sort of thing. It's got revolving beds. It's got rotating beds. It's crazy, man. But I love, like I say, I love there's a jazzy soundtrack to this. Just absolutely to die for as well. Just amazing. It doesn't make a lot of sense, the actual plot, because it's all kind of gets a bit convoluted. Like I say, didn't have much time to rewrite the script. But I don't think it doesn't really affect it in any way. It's great for the visuals. There's a funny scene, like you mentioned in the last film with the guy having that fit. There's a scene in this where, totally out of context with the whole film, this woman starts doing karate.
Oh,
and,
yeah. I remember that.
It will. It's kind of like, everyone's got the Chinese professor in Pieces when he just starts doing all the kung fu off the motorbike. kind of had me thinking of that for a while. It just comes, honestly, it just comes out of nowhere. But yeah, I think this was one of the first films as well where you actually have because you got all the bodies hung up in like this freezer.
Yeah, they're all hanging in the freezer.
Yeah, I think it was one of the first
plastic over the heads and shit.
Yeah, body count films to do that. I think a lot of the slashers went on and copied that for sure.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, a third of the way through the film, 1970.
Okay, yeah.
So a third of the way through the film, then it starts off. You kind of getting to know all the characters, and then the murders they come thick and fast, like a third of the way through. He doesn't show all the deaths. He kind of lingers on the after death on quite a few of them.
It plays off that old trope where everybody's blaming everybody.
Yeah, yeah. They're all, like you say, trying to get to this guy's formula, and there's petty little arguments going on. They're all prepared. They're all devious as hell.
Because his formula is worth millions and shit.
Yeah.
Of the scientists or whatever.
Right.
The essence of greed.
Right.
Exactly. It's kind of like Blood and Black Lace in that, in that way where they're all trying to just outdo each other. Mm-hmm. But yeah, honestly, just such a good film. It was, like the $5 title at the time was 1970, so I think it was cashing in on Argento's Bird with Crystal Plumage, to try and get, that style of title. And I think it works for the film.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
Argento took some stuff from Bava.
Oh god, yeah,
100%.
I think they're definitely okay. Yeah.
But Bava got along with Argento pretty well, and from what I understand,
I don't believe that I've ever heard anyone bad make Bava at all. You get it with Fulci, you got it with Argento. Lenzi was terrible.
But like Bava did some stuff on Inferno,
Right, yeah. No, they were very good friends. They you've got Lamberto Bava as well. They all kind of, got on well together. He actually worked with Argento as well at times. Yeah. This was the only film which I thought was interesting that Mario Bava edited himself. For obviously because he was just basically thrown into it. He had to do everything.
Probably limited on funds too, because that's the thing with Bava. He didn't have all the funds that all these other guys had. So.
So Dirt Scene would have been in the top 10 then, which is good.
I'd probably put it number 7 because I can tell you what number 6 is, but I don't want to tell you yet.
Right, that's fine. What more can I say, really? Anyone who's not seen it, I would highly recommend it. Put it on your list because it's just like a trippy, really trippy sort of
if you like
style giallo.
If you like the giallo genre, I definitely recommend for sure.
Yeah, highly recommended. But yeah,
you're on. If you're a special features junkie, especially when it comes to that. Now, Dark, I saw you flip yours over, and that's the Kino one. You actually have like a good bit of special features on there. Yeah, I was actually surprised to see that. But the Arrow release, it's a pure fucking treat to hear John Carpenter and Joe Dante talk about their experiences with this film.
Right.
Let me see that one, Johnny.
Absolutely.
It's the Arrow release.
Okay, damn. I like that artwork. It's killer.
I think that's Graham Humphrey who did the artwork for this one, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, yeah.
I think Graham Humphrey might have did this one.
There's a documentary on there as well that a UK guy, Matt Kamol, does.
Yep.
Called, I think it's Maestro of the Macabre. You've got to see that. It's worth it just for that.
The special features alone.
Yeah.
Even if the movie is let's say somebody wasn't even a big fan of that movie, the special features is worth the price of the actual Arrow disc. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm not sure if it's out of print. I'm not sure. It'd probably be easy to get on eBay, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
one thing we haven't brought up yet, especially with all of our physical stuff, is that nice, really big, expensive box set that Arrow had put out a while back, which was I think about 3 or 4 years ago at this point, but it had about 11 of his films in it. Trying to find that thing now goes for like $400 or $500. I think when it came out at the time, it was probably about $150-$200.
Damn,
but that was a really nice box set, but unfortunately, that kind of slipped through my fingers at the time. But
and see, at the time I wasn't collecting physical. I got away from it I started collecting DVDs and just got away from it. But for a while.
Did that come out after some of these single releases ended it? Because that's
Yeah,
probably
because
why.
they took the same exact disc of like even from like the singular releases and even some of the releases that look kind of similar to like the disc artwork from like let's say the Windows sets. Those are the actual discs that they put in the entire package. So it's definitely just like replicated disc.
Yeah, that's why I held off then probably. But wow, if it's going for that much. Man.
Damn, man. I didn't even know about that. The more you know.
There you go.
I don't know about 400 or 500 though. That's a little out of my.
It was expensive when it first dropped too, man. I mean, that's 11 films, a pretty big beefy set. So I mean, you know, by the time they break it down, price per film that you're paying for at that time when they release it, the price ain't that bad. But if you're not a person who's like holding 160, 200 bucks at the time, yeah, that's a little expensive.
Right.
But yeah, special features on the $5 for an August Moon disc. I mean, like I said, you don't even have to be a fan of that film. You can watch it. It's like, it's okay. But then you get to the special features and you're like, well, shit, there's like 6 hours worth of special features here, though. Especially anybody who likes documentaries or watching some of like the most popular directors in horror talking.
Yeah, I watch everything on these discs. Everything. After the
get your money's worth, man. More bang for your buck, man.
Right. I'm gonna catch up with the chat right quick. Let's see.
While you do that, it's okay if I just go have a toilet break?
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Hold me a second.
Yep. Everybody saying, hey. Let's see. Oh, well, he just left the room. I'll get back to that. Let's see.
One above it, Dirk. The streaming for free.
Right.
Just Chubbs. I did check that not too long ago because I was trying to find a particular film that Dirk was telling me about. Unfortunately, I was having a hard time watching it. Whenever, I know if you have Roku and you try to type in Mario Bava to search for any of his films, there's only like 2 or 3 that actually pops up. But what's interesting is they actually use the title Twitch of the Death Nerve instead of using Bay of Blood, which I just thought was like, hell yeah, that's awesome.
There are some streaming on Tubi, actually.
On Tubi? Okay, nice.
Yeah, and you can find some on YouTube.
If you can find a decent one that doesn't have
pretty decent, man.
Issues and,
pretty decent. I just watched Lisa and the Devil, and there's a pretty decent Black Sunday on YouTube too.
Nice. If anybody has Canopy, there's a few on there. If you do try to search through, like let's say a Roku, it's not going to pull up on Canopy. But I do know for Canopy, you have to actually use your library card to sign in, and they only give you 6 credits. I think it's either for a month or a week, and once you use those credits up, that's it. So, and it's not even a paid service. Canopy is just one of those weird things. We'll get into that later, which is just another streaming service that it's a weird take on a streaming service, but I'm sure somebody's familiar with it. But they do have a couple there if you want to check that out. If you got a library card, you do have to sign in using your library card.
Let's see. Chris
the more you know, Dirk.
Yeah, man. Chris C says, yo, everybody, quick stop before I work to say hi. We'll watch the replay of this badass stream and panel. Mario Bava, the godfather of Giallo. By the way, my number one from him is Blood and Black Lace. Hell yeah, man. That was my number one, too. So,
absolutely. Chris, I hope you're doing good, man. Don't work too hard, man.
Yeah, man. And Tasha said, glad you're feeling better, Darren.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And let's see. Texas said, Dirk, I was able to get Blissful to watch Deep Red, House by the Cemetery, Killer Clowns, and TCM2 with me this week. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
Man. Yeah.
Let's see.
You got a handful of bangers right there just for a week. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I'll swing.
That's a good look. You threw some Killer Clowns in probably to break the monotony, a little bit.
Yeah. That's exactly what he did. He's like, I got to have some satire in here somewhere.
Right. Yeah. Anthony says, okay, I finally got back home. How's it going, everybody? What's up, chat? Yeah, man. Glad you made it back.
Doing good, Anthony.
Dirk always killing it with his shirt game.
Amen to that.
Appreciate it, man.
Amen to that. That's a homemade shirt right there. He's wearing too on the boots. So
yeah, Dana, Evil Dead chick. Y'all can check out her channel. She made this shirt initially, and then I had to splatter it up with some homemade blood. But let's see.
I always like the design of that shit as well.
Yeah, man, I thought it was a pretty good idea.
It's kind of cool, isn't it? Because obviously,
especially that scene, the girls putting the shirt on.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, when everybody's saying hey and Wrangler in the house, what up, man? Yeah, man.
Good to have them all on board, man.
Yeah. So we're at my number 2, I guess. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, man. Trying to find it. And that's going to be, in my opinion, the very first slasher.
Oh, boy.
Bay of Blood, Twitch of the Death Nerve. I know Johnny's got that badass arrow over there, but yeah, man. This shit here, man. Like right out the gate, when you're the opening, you see the old lady. These people are trying to get her bay, her estate or whatever. They're trying. It's really like all about greed, like Johnny was saying. But that damn, again, man, he don't pull no punches in this one. This is probably his most violent film, I would say.
I'd say so.
Right. Yeah. This is my number 4, by the way. So.
Okay. Yeah, but so being number 1 was Blood and Black Lace. A lot of people I've heard consider that one the first official giallo because of the color, which in my opinion, it's girl who knew too much, but I do consider this the first slasher as far as the campiness to it, like the teens going to somewhere they're not supposed to go. They're really the only ones that are innocent in this film, the teenagers. Everybody else in this film are guilty as fuck.
Yeah, it's full-fledged isolation film for the whole movie too.
Yeah.
I mean, even though you're at this beautiful landscape, it's kind of like fuck out in the middle of nowhere, basically.
Yeah. It's
the setting is fucking amazing.
The wooded area setting. It's heavily inspired Friday the 13th, no doubt.
Oh god,
the spear kill, which
I was about to say there's a lot of things we could take from this film and be like, yeah, Friday the 13th took that.
And you can see probably Argento took the hanging shit for when this is not a spoiler because this happens very early in the movie when that damn killer he's got that rope, throws it over to the old lady.
Kicks that fucking wheelchair.
He just fucking wheelchair.
Kicks that bitch.
I showed Tasha that scene and she was like, "Oh shit, he's a mean son of a bitch." And then you automatically find out it's her husband did it. And then his ass gets killed right after that. So you're like, what the fuck's going on here, man?
It fucking throws you down. But
really,
I was surprised in watching all these films again as we did, how many good fucking opening scenes Bava's got.
Yeah, man.
Because we always assume Argento's got some classics, obviously, but I didn't realize how many. Bava just opens up these films incredibly well.
Bava opens up his movies the same way Dirk opened up this stream by making us all go for number 1 first. He's like, no, we're going to get to the fucking just punch you right off the bat and go, what the fuck happened?
We're going to throw you all, exactly.
Yeah, man. But man, it's definitely the first slasher, hands down, in my opinion. As far as what we know, the way we know,
body count slasher,
body count slashers, the teenage, the isolated area. And then you don't know who the hell. In that regard, it's bloody as shit. It actually shows shit happening. Like the hatchet, the machete thing to the dude's face. That's in Friday the 13th Part 2. The spear kills in Part 2. Let's see.
Here's a really good question for you guys. Out of all the Bava films, would you guys say A Bay of Blood, aka Twitch of the Death Nerve, would you definitely say that this is Bava's film that included the most nudity in it?
Probably so, huh?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit $5, but not much, is that really? Yeah, probably. I would say
This film has the most titles of any slasher too, right? Am I right on that? Because
Oh,
you got Bay of Blood, Bloodbath, Chain Reaction, Carnage, Ecology of Crime.
I never even heard that one.
And Twitch of the Death Nerve.
That's 6 fucking titles right there. Damn.
So
wow.
I think it has the record. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, y'all correct me. I'll be glad to be corrected because I always like to learn. So,
say that again, Dirk. What was that fourth one?
Ecology of Crime.
Damn, I've never even heard of that, man. I thought I was like a super fan of this movie. I've never even heard of that
Chain
title.
Reaction actually makes sense, though, if you think about
Absolutely. Of course, the victims that's lined up in perpetuity where everything's just going to shit.
Yeah.
For body count.
But Twitch of the Death Nerve is just
that's my favorite title.
It's still my favorite out of all those.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there another one there? I thought you was going to tell me another one.
Snap.
Oh shit, man!
Oh,
that is badass, dude.
Hell yeah, man!
He pulled out the snapper.
Yeah. Well, I have got the Arrow one as well, but obviously that's the one I watched is the Arrow one.
Hell yeah, man!
I was about to say I'm sitting over here with like the Windows Set Edition, being like, yeah, I got a fucking badass release that he holds up the actual title I like the best with like some of the best artwork. Yeah. I'm like, fuck.
And here I am with the Kino, you know.
Hey, that Kino's a great release too, man.
It is.
I think I used to have that.
Do what?
I used to have that. I think the Bay of Blood. Yeah. Don't know, for some reason I couldn't pull it out.
Crazy shit. I've actually bought that Kino release multiple times and actually gave it to people just because a lot of people that I just hung around with just never had seen that movie. So I'd send it to them, and believe it or not, I've not even one of them out of like the 3 of them I've sent it to ever hit me back and be like, yeah, I love that movie. They're all like, not really my thing. I'm like, God damn.
Honestly, I've viewed that quite a bit as well. That this film is in love, like obviously we're all kind of diehards, but the general public, I don't, if they watch this, they just think it's like boring.
I think it's the dubbing. Honestly, I think
possibly, that could be that as well. But they kind of say it's quite boring, but to me, it's not. I don't see that, but.
I mean, like Dirk said, as soon as this movie opens up, like you see the noose get hung around her neck, and that dude kicks that fucking wheelchair from under that shit.
He does, man. That's some mean shit, dude. You're like, what the hell? He did Granny old. Like that?
Yeah, she's old as shit. She's not like some young heroine neither. This bitch is old. Yeah. She's like wheelchair bound. She's just rolling through the house at first when you see her, and then it's great, great opening scene. Like Darren said, it's one of those things where you go back and revisit his movies, and you're just kind of going in order of them. And the only thing you can think of is like, damn, like Bava did not hold back for that first 6-7 minutes of his film. Like he was,
and the way it ends too, man. The way this movie ends, I'm not spoiling shit for nobody that hadn't seen it.
Amazing, yeah.
But it's just like, what the?
It gets even more fucking vicious and fucked up just due to like basically the age of what's going on. Right. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, man. And so I found this information out. Have y'all heard this? I heard that there's a rumor that Argento stole this film from a theater when he was I don't know how old he was, but it was in 71.
Right.
It says also it's rumored Argento stole a copy of this film from a theater, and the hanging scene he used later for Suspiria.
No, let's think about that
kind of makes sense.
If he really stole it back in that day, films came in those big cans. And there was usually like 3 or 4 cans to a film. Like that'd be fucking hard for one person to run out of a public. Place run.
That's crazy shit, man. This was from Total. The source was Total Film Magazine, 2005, and they also said that this is in the top. It was definitely in the top 50 greatest horror films ever made.
Right. Yeah.
Because of what it's done. What it inspired, and all that. So
right. Do you know when you mentioned just a minute ago the nudity? Did that kind of take you back a bit? Because to see full frontal nudity with that that girl early on, I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah, you don't see that.
Wasn't expecting that at all.
You don't see that in other Bava stuff. Yeah.
No,
But this is 71, so they're pushing the envelope now in the 70s.
yeah, definitely.
But man, made the video nasties list as well.
There you go.
It did, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I think the cast in this is really good. I think top draw. You've got like Claudia Izorga, like she's been in a few giallo films. You've got Luigi Pestilli from Your Voice is a Locked Room.
Oh yeah, man, he's been in a ton of shit. He's been in that.
Did you know the backstory with him though? It's quite kind of really sad. He committed suicide in 1996.
Right. I heard about
off the back of it, like basically his son had done the same. Not done the same. His son had died in a car accident back in 1989. So he was going through this breakup as well with his girlfriend at the time,
So
and
tipped
him over the edge. And in his suicide note, he apologized to his girlfriend. He said he was kind of spiteful to her during the breakup and all that, and he just basically apologized and fucking topped himself. It's quite sad.
Damn.
It's so iconic. He's such a great actor.
Yeah, man, he was. Your Vice, he's a son of a bitch.
Oh man, he plays.
I heard he was great. Like from what I heard in person in real life.
Yeah,
he was just a great guy.
He's another one you do not see a bad film or bad performance from him in any film, and he's in tons. I tell you, absolutely tons.
Already got 3 films right there you guys done talked about that I haven't seen. I'm definitely got to watch. Your Vice, of course. Not the night Evelyn came out of the grave. The Red Queen killed 7 times. I believe you guys were talking about.
Yeah,
and of course, the girl who knew too much. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna walk out of this stream spending money again.
I tell you what, that would be some fucking triple feature. That would, I tell you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Your Vice is a Locked Room is my favorite Martino.
Yeah, I'm mine.
Definitely.
It's one of my favorite films, like full stop.
Yeah, it is. It's one of my favorites. It's the first giallo I've seen.
I think I'd asked you this before, but wasn't that a box set, and included in the box set was like Edgar Allan Poe's Black Cat that was accompanied by it in the box set from Arrow?
Yeah.
Or am I okay.
Yep.
I got that.
Because that's Martino's take on Edgar Allan Poe's Black Cat.
Oh, okay.
If you can actually get that box set, maybe, I don't know, on eBay or something now, it's well worth it. I think it's got the book as well,
Yeah.
What's the other film in there? It's Fulci's Black Cat, but there's another film.
It's Your Vice. There's 2 films.
Yeah,
it's just 2. Okay, I thought it was 3. Okay.
Yeah, some of them they do 3, don't they? But that one was 2. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, man, highly recommend. Highly recommend. Nobody's seen Bay of Blood. I don't know what you're doing, man. Check it out. It is. It set the blueprint, the stage, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's a complete must watch again. Definitely.
But like me and Darren said earlier, though, don't let the whole thing of, especially that practice of dubbing, throw you off. Neither. Don't let that spoil the film for you. That's just that was their technique at that time, and they just didn't advance forward yet. They were still using dub tracks. So
they had a lot of Italian actors, but what's confusing is when they had American actors, why wouldn't they let them dub why wouldn't they let the American actors do their own voice?
That's a good fucking question.
Kind of like Christopher Lee. He wasn't American, but he's, that's an example.
How many times have we seen John Saxon, who we know speaks full fluent fucking English, and they not let him do his own dub track? And it's like, Jesus, man, like they're killing his character with an alternate voice. Like, fuck that.
It kills me watching Whipping the Body with Christopher Lee, because that's not Christopher Lee's voice. So it just trips me out every time I see it.
That might surprise you, but I've never seen that one either. It's just come out now in the UK on this beautiful box set. From 88 films, I think, which I'm kind of waiting to go down a little bit in price.
Yeah, man. Whipping the Body, dude. It's got to be the first sadomasochist film.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a really good fucking point. Probably 100% on that, most likely.
So this actual film we're talking about now is actually called, because I mentioned it earlier, was called Last Ace on the Left Part 2, and it was marketed as that.
Oh yeah,
back
yeah.
in, you know,
Yeah, I heard that.
Sean S. Cunningham when he kind of released it for his distribution company Hallmark. What else have I got? It was shot between January and February 1971. The film was released with a VM18 rating because of gore and nudity, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it? The film came out little success, grossing 88 million lira, even less than Delirium, which is a 1972 giallo as well. At the same time, it was, however, released as Chain Reaction, which Dirk said, and it did better overseas with numerous titles, as Dirk mentioned as well. It doubles the body count of Blood and Black Lace, and the early draft of the script at the time, the early draft of the script have the line at the end of the film is that I teach them not to be so bad. So yeah.
Hey, good note taking right there too, man. Because I didn't even realize that was exactly double the body count from
yeah,
Black
crazy.
Plague.
When I read that, I thought, yeah, and then I went back and looked and thought, yeah, absolutely.
Damn. Yeah, there is a lot of killing going on.
Oh yeah.
A Bay of Blood, Twitch of the Death Nerve. But
like I'll say too, like Tasha just said this a little bit ago. I mean, you guys are thorough as hell, man. Like I didn't even realize that until he said it. And I'm like over here going, holy shit, he's right. So good, kudos on you guys for being so fucking thorough, man. You guys do your homework, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, Darren, if I don't catch it, he catches it a lot of time. But man, so we're at that's our number 2s. We're at our number 3, Johnny.
Yeah, man, you beat me to the punch on that, man. That was definitely, man, for my number 3 right there. Which I'll be honest with you, of course, being Black Sunday being first, man. You know that's never going to move out of it. Blood and Black Lace and Bay of Blood, that was hard for me. That's the ones I did double up and kind of flip back and forth there.
Yeah,
twice.
See, I got Black Sunday at my number 3. So you see what I'm saying?
We could go through the stream and everybody go through the from 1 to 5. Next week, all 3 of us could be sitting here saying something fucking different and out of order. But like you said, we could have done a top 10 as well, and that'd have changed the list up a bit. Yeah, Bay of Blood, man, right there. It's fuck, man. I remember seeing that movie for the first time, trying to get people on board with it just to watch it. That film is criminally fucking underrated, if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't really see anybody praising it that much. Of course, the biggest topic conversation you ever hear when that movie gets brought up is the fact that the kill scenes that were used in it were also replicated in Friday the 13th. Then you hear nothing else about the movie. And it's a fucking shame because it's like, man, like it's the perfect movie for isolation. Not to mention, you still have just the amount of greed between those people when it comes to money, land, or whatever it is, the extent they go through. I mean, you even got a woman in here too in this movie who's one of the most vicious ones, and she's like, "Fuck that, not on my watch." She's like, "We'll just take this motherfucker out." It plays against them, ironically, which is great. So there's another little subplot, but there's a lot of irons in the fire for this movie too, though. So it's one of those this ain't gonna be like when you put on the background and not pay attention to it. Like, nah, you gotta
pay attention on this one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And Chain Reaction is probably the best title for the movie, even though my favorite title is Twitch of the Death Nerve. But
exactly, mine too, man. Mine too. It's just it's the way that rolls off the tongue, and we all know exactly too, man. Like, just that's a hell of a title. You can't top that title.
No, you can't.
Yeah, Chain Reaction. That's 100%.
It makes me wonder if like Hooper got that scene, in Texas Chainsaw when that dude's twitching when he gets hit.
Yeah.
With the fucking mallet. It makes me wonder if he got it from that time. Maybe I'm reaching too far. But
that scene makes me wince every fuck because I put it on yesterday with a box set. Every fucking time that I'm wincing watching that,
Just the central nervous system's going to shit.
It's just that noise effect. That fucking noise effect, man. Just get you every time.
And Dolby Atmos, I imagine it's really killer.
Yeah.
I know Alan's very happy with that 7.1. That was the first thing he said. Like, thank God we finally got it at 7.1 because that shit sounds great on mine. I'm like, fuck, I can't wait to put it on mine. Man.
It's not on 7.1 on the turbine, right?
No, it's not. They use the 5.1, but for second, for the American release too over here, we got the 7.1 on it. But of course, Second Sight has their own 7.1. They did themselves. They didn't take it from the American release. So
Okay. Yeah.
That's one note that I read in that book. So
I still haven't checked out the American scan, but I did watch all the special features on the new American with the Hooper and Freaking.
That's the feature I desperately want to see.
That's worth it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that they actually. I don't want to derail it so much because we're still talking about TCM of all things, but the inside that actual Black Maria trucks. That truck box set. There's actually there's a commentary that's very exclusive to that set only because it's never been released outside of that set. But it's a commentary with Hooper and Freaking. So
is it really? I didn't know that.
Yes, yeah, and that's what makes that disc 5 in that set. Like a lot of people don't even really care about that disc. They're just like, okay, it's a commentary, so what? Most people just want to get it for the Leatherface apron or the just having that nice Black Maria pulled out like all the way on their shelf. Like, no. That 5th disc in there is like kind of worth the price tag. That's kind of what it's meant for.
I have no idea about that.
No, that went down. That went down in price. I could have grabbed that shit.
Man, I should have got.
Oh, you do. You can still get them on eBay, man. I just saw a brand new seal one. I think it went for like $45, man.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Oh wow, I'll look into that big time, man.
Definitely look into it.
I get it just for that commentary track.
Would you guys, man? You guys love the hell out of commentaries. Just nobody else really gives a shit about those things. So like, I'm hearing you guys on the first 2 episodes like ripping these commentaries apart. And I'm like, holy fuck! Somebody else watches this geeky shit as much as me.
Yeah, man. The commentaries is where it's at. That's where you learn some shit.
Yeah, I love putting them on, man, and just listen to them while you're doing something around the house. Just like you want like an album, music, whatever it is, or you're at work.
Exactly. Yeah. I used to
got 2 hours.
You rip them and then put them onto like an MP3 player and just listen to them while you're going out for a walk. It works just as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack that shit. Dirk's usually pretty good about reeling me back and be like, "Hey, you going off subject, motherfucker?"
No, we're good, man.
We always
streaming. We're streaming.
Yeah, number 3, Bay of Blood, all the way right there. That was Dirk's number 2. So
yeah,
that was my number 3.
Well, let me catch up with the chat right quick and let's see. People saying, "Hey." Wild Wrangler said, "Gator blood, Dirk." He must be talking about my shirt. Yeah, shirt. Yeah. Pure Hangout. What's up, man? Glad you made it. What's this stream about? You're reviewing the new Mario Brothers movie? Yeah, man. You know it. Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. By the way, that was a great experience to have with the
new
kids.
Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I took him to the drive-in last weekend. This is the night before we was going to do this.
Yeah.
It went and took them to it, man. I really enjoyed it, man. The fucking animation of that movie is when they bring that out on 4K, that it'll definitely have some benefits. So can't wait for that 4K to come out. Got some kids are huge Mario fans, and that was a nice experience to have with them.
Hell yeah, man. I'm sure Grayson will love it.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But yeah, man. I'm glad you made it, man.
Oh, 2 Easter eggs, by the way. So whenever the credits roll in that movie, there's 2 Easter eggs. So don't turn it off.
Stay for the credits.
Yeah, that final Easter egg too, man. Like there was a bunch of kids like just sitting around waiting for the credits to roll at the drive-in. We're all outside, so you can hear everybody. And once they showed a snippet of that Easter egg and everybody heard the voice in the background, man, them fucking little kids went crazy over there. So
yeah, man. Anthony said Deep Red was great. I just watched that for the first time last night. Damn.
Oh, wow. Hey, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it hits hard, man, the first go. It's that score, that might be my favorite. Argento.
Those Goblin scores, man. God almighty, man.
Goblin, yeah. That might be my favorite Goblin score, period. But I might say it shit when I hear some other shit, though, So
I love Deep Red as much as the next man, but it's never been as good as, like, for me. I know it's probably one of his best made films ever made, but it doesn't. I like it, but I don't love it, and I really want to love it. It's not like
I love it. I ain't gonna lie, it's in my top 5 for sure.
I get that. I get why people, they say it's the best Giallo ever made.
It's not my number 1.
I can't argue with that at all.
It's not even my number 2.
Right. It's just one I don't kind of go back to a lot. So my only criticism would be slight. I find it a little bit overlong. I know there's 2 versions as well, but I don't know. It's one I really want to love, but I just like. So
Yeah.
Let's respect the fact though that Argento actually played a Motorhead song for the score of one of his films. So that to me right there makes him king.
Well,
And
Iron Maiden as well.
Iron Maiden, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you get to see
absolutely.
the in Deep Red though. See, so I didn't know this about Argento. He used to do commercials, and he used this certain type of camera for zooming in on certain things. Like, I think it was a
lens.
was it for the what's that Italian car? Damn, Fiat.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he made Fiat commercials, and he used a certain kind of camera to go through the car, like to zoom in on everything real super close. He uses that same camera in Deep Red when all that shit's on the table.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the doll and the needle and all that shit. And it's kind of letting you know, hey, this is a crazy son of a bitch. In Deep Red. I always appreciate that shit though.
But I was going to ask you two guys, like the early scene in Deep Red where we get the reveal of the killer. Did you actually see that first time? Because I never.
Nope.
No, I didn't.
I don't know anybody who's actually turned around and said, "Yeah, I fucking seen that first time."
No, if somebody told me they did, I'd call them a fucking liar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, I knew who it was. Bullshit. Shut up.
But when you kind of watch it back and you know you're looking for it, you kind of think, "Fuck, it's so obvious." But no,
right?
First watching, your eyes just don't adjust to it.
Same with the girl.
Always kind of,
always
kind of feel like the sore thumb when it comes to Argento, because I know it seems like for the popular decision, I'm sure you guys hear it all the time too, but it seems like the most popular decision is like, well, the best film ever made, Profana Rosa, blah blah blah. For me, man, like Dirk even said, it's not even his number two, man. But I saw Deep Red for the first time, and I was just like, I don't really get the hype for this shit. Maybe I'm just too late to the game. I just don't know the back end of this, the history of it. Whatever. Now I've seen that movie numerous times now, and I appreciate it more and more with every watch. I do love that movie now at this point, but it's definitely not his number one for me neither. His number one for me, of course, is going to be Phenomena, because that's just
okay.
That's
nice style, man.
Nice. Well, my number one's pretty basic, and it used to be, it was Tenebrae for a while, but now my number one. We did a top 5 not long ago. My number one Argento is and it's probably one most people say Suspiria, but I can't help it. I can't help it. I found other shit. We're kind of getting off topic. I'm sorry.
No, it's my number one as well.
Hey, Suspiria's a great fucking film, man. I mean, who's gonna tell you that that's a bad film? Nobody here. You know what I mean? So
right, but I noticed some certain scenes in Suspiria I never noticed before, like in the courtyard with the blind guy. You'll see shadows of witches on.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah,
on the buildings and shit, and I never noticed that shit before. It made it all different, way different. I was like, "Whoa, shit!"
All right, that's Dirk's number one. Where you sitting at, Darren? If you had to take your number one, let's just have fun here. We might as well go around the table right quick.
Number one Argento.
Yeah, like hands down.
Would be Suspiria by a mile.
Okay. Suspiria. There you go.
But I kind of like you say. I'm Bird with a Crystal Plumage is like, when I first watched that film, I was like, I like it, but didn't love it. And now since I've watched it recently,
I'll be right back.
Okay, that's okay. Since I watched it recently, it's gone like kind of might meet my top 5 now. I'm trying to think my top 5 offhand. Phenomena, you say. I absolutely love that film. That's definitely in my top 5.
Speaking of a movie with intros, I mean, just the opening for Phenomena itself. I mean, that's one of the gnarliest death scenes, man. It's like, holy shit. And then it's not even the most gruesome, because at the end, you get to see a fucking monkey with a straight razor.
Right, exactly. It's just, that film is fucking so far out, But the whole opening to that, when she gets lost in the Alps, I think that's actually on YouTube, and I've actually just played that. Just, if I got 5 minutes to myself, I'll just play the opening to that film, because I love the old music as well.
Yeah.
And you've got, the same, the music just keeps beating and beating. And
I was going to ask you too. So Suspiria being your number one Argento film for your take. Now, if you had to take the film away, and we're just basically concentrating on the soundtrack of the film, would Suspiria still be your number one film for soundtrack?
Right, that's a good question. Yeah, I think probably my favorite soundtrack. Deep Red would probably be second favorite soundtrack. But I like Operacy as well. I like that fucking old heavy metal. I know a lot of people don't like it, and you've got a bit of a mix and match with opera music and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could talk about Gentleman for hours. I mean, we need to do some sort of stream. I know we did the stream with you guys, didn't you? Dirk did.
Dirk did the Argento stream. That was a
Oh, you
while
wasn't
back.
on that one, was you? Oh, right. But we'll have to maybe do
me,
something.
Alan, and Gizmo.
There you go.
Yeah. We'll wait a while. But yeah, we'll do something to do with Argento at some point.
Right.
All right, Dirk, for soundtrack.
Maybe 5. Yeah, could do the soundtrack.
Yeah. Without taking. Let's take the film away from it. If you had to pick your favorite Argento film, with being based on the soundtrack, would it still be Suspiria for you, or would it be a different film?
I think it's going to be Deep Red.
Deep Red for soundtrack.
Yep.
Yeah,
you guys are cut from the same fucking cloth.
That
exactly what you just
man.
said.
That shit hits. It's like, damn it.
But, I know you got a love for opera though, like you said, Darren. I'm gonna have to revisit opera. It's been so long.
Yeah, opera's highly underrated. Highly.
I'm going to say something there because I know Dirk doesn't like the film, but have you seen the Stendhal Syndrome?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, the soundtrack to that is fantastic as well. But I actually love that film. I think it's Argento's best film.
It's another one I have to revisit. That's just one of those I got from Blue Underground. Watched it once, went on the shelf.
I've watched it one time.
Time went by.
Yeah, I keep urging Dirk to go back and watch it again because there's so much in that film. I wasn't particularly great on it first time watch, but now it's fucking right up there for me. One of his best
I'll definitely do it. I'll definitely do it, man. I try to give everything 2 watches. I try to before I completely.
You may even need 3 or 4 watches with Stendhal until it kind of like resonates with you. But once it does, I think it's that type of film. But I keep going back until you know it just resonates because I think it will.
Right.
At some point, it's a fantastic film.
I'm gonna catch a chat right quick. Let's see. Anthony says at Texas, I love a good murder mystery film. I also just watched Phenomena for the first time a week ago. Yeah, Anthony's just getting into the jolly, man. So
like Darren said a while ago, man, that kind of makes me. It's one of those same kind of feelings. Like I told him, like, man, I've never seen a girl who knew too much, and he was like, "Fuck, I'm jealous of you because now you get to see it for the first time." And I've long lost that feeling. Same thing with Phenomena for me. Seeing him say that right there, it's like, oh, I wish I can go back to that first time.
Hell yeah, man!
Such a good film.
Anthony says, "I love a good director's commentary. Those are usually my favorite special features." Yeah,
right on, Anthony.
Yeah,
Anthony checks out all the commentaries a lot of times. I noticed. Let's see, I preferred Phenomena and Tenebrae over Deep Red. Yeah,
I'm the same.
Yeah, me too. Over Deep Red, yeah. Maybe not Phenomena. I would definitely Tenebrae.
That Tenebrae got his number 1 spot. You could tell it as soon as he said that word. He's like, "Yeah, ain't nothing gonna knock fucking Tenebrae out."
Yeah, Tenebrae.
Phenomena is kind of, I find in the like a horror film community, it's kind of hit or miss with people.
No, I like Phenomena. Don't get me wrong; it's in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, there's quite a lot of people like really don't like that film. I don't get it because it's just fun, isn't it? It's not to be taken seriously. I don't think. I know it's got its serious moments. Don't get me wrong.
Anthony,
not to mention it's Argento's wife in that house too. Whenever we're seeing the conclusion kind of unfold, like her mental instability, like like that's fucking great. I'll never forget those moments seeing that for the first time. I'm like, this crazy bitch. I didn't even know it coming.
Right. Yeah, man, it's good. It's good to have another fan of the film like talking about it because I absolutely fucking worship that film. I think it's fantastic.
Anthony says, I still thought Deep Red was badass though.
It is, brother.
Texas said, my girlfriend Blissful is really loving Giallo. She pretty much guesses who the killer is right away because she's really into true crime. Okay.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Some of these though, man, they're not easy to figure out. Like what Ernesto Gastaldi, one of the best writers of all Jolly, he always says there's like a formula. You can't cheat. Kind of like how Friday the 13th, the first one, they kind of cheat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Oh God, absolutely.
That reveal is like, what the fuck? Like, you know,
Dirk, and we had just talked about it too, especially getting that Severin documentary that we watched. And the very first thing they bring up in that documentary is like, yeah, you could be sitting there dumbfounded and you don't know exactly what's going on, and it's great as long as the rule is not broken. That means it can't be this extraterrestrial kind of bullshit going on.
right?
It's you got to stick to the pattern of what this can be done by a human.
Yeah, you gotta, and actually you gotta see the killer at least like 50% of the film. You know,
hiding in plain sight.
Yep. You can't just be like talking about this killer and fucking like in Friday the 13th. You know, it's fucking.
Yeah, it can work in both ways though, because some of these Giallo films are just so fucking outlandish. The end when we find out who the killer is, and there's no way. You know, you think there's no fucking way that could have been the same
right.
Darren, you got to see the documentary?
What documentary was it called?
It's the Color Giallo.
Yeah, I did see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that's a great doc.
But the whole, like, you get the trailer disc as well with it, and the same track, fantastic package to have out of it.
Yeah, man, especially those compilation trailer discs, man. You just put those on in the background, and you'd be doing something else, and before you know it, you're sitting right back down staring at the shit. But like, I've never seen that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like 4 hours of one, isn't it? It just goes like that.
Man. It's fucking long.
So are we on number 4 now?
Number 4, sir. No,
number 3's one now, I think. Is it?
Yeah. Because I just said Bay
of
Blood.
I will say that my top 5 have all gone in some way, shape, or form. Because I got number 3, I got Black Sunday.
Okay.
Number 2, number 4, I got Twitch of the Death Nerve, and number 5, I got Blood and Black Lace. That's cool. Anyway, yeah. So they've all pretty much gone.
So who's it on? So we're
if
on
that was
number 4.
my number, if that was my number 3, it's supposed to be me number 3, I think.
Number 3 for you, Darren.
Yeah,
we talked about
Black Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about Black Sunday.
Black Sunday. Yep. And it was yours too. So.
Yeah, that was my number 3 as well. So is it on me or is it on Johnny? It's on Johnny, right?
It'd be on me.
Might be on Johnny's number 2 now. That's it. What am I on? I'm losing track. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Because we're going the other way. We started with our number 1.
Yeah. That's what confused me. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely comes to number 4 right here. As soon as I say this word for this particular style of film, you guys already know exactly what it is. What makes this pretty special, though, is I got to actually this is one of those films, even though it's old, I got to share this, especially with like my kids being younger. It's kind of easier for them to watch stories getting told in segments as opposed to an hour and a half to 2 hour movie. But my wife really dug this one too, man. This is just one. Fuck, man, it still gets under my skin. Especially one particular scene in this movie, but as no other than the anthology of Black Sabbath.
Oh, hell yeah. Man. Shit.
So, that's all there, man.
I so wanted to put this on my top 5, but it just just failed by one.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to be in my top 5, but
and then got the old Kino release.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to why I wasn't, but that's the one I got, the Kino. But yeah, man. The Drop of Water episode, or
yeah.
The telephone is actually
slow. It's slow, but man, it's good. Like it's got a good payoff to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one particular scene I was talking about, man, you guys know it too, man. Especially with the stolen ring and everything. The look on that woman's face when the camera kind of just pans back to it really quick, man. I wasn't expecting that shit for the first watch, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have nightmares about that scary bitch for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that damn mannequin. That's so damn. It's the way it's done, man. It's pretty iconic. Like I was watching it this time, Black Sabbath, and I was like, that motherfucker kind of looks like Annabelle.
Yeah, you could say they did
in that one
because. The real Annabelle doll is like a Raggedy Ann doll, like nothing close to the one they used in those fucking Conjuring movies or anything.
Right.
So,
but in the movie Annabelle, it looks similar like that mannequin. To me, I got the same vibe. I was like, maybe I'm reaching. But
No, I say you're right there. I would say if I, of course everybody's opinion is going to vary, man. But the fucking thing we're seeing right here in Black Sabbath, man, that's hands down. Like that shit.
that's
That
creepy.
fucking Annabelle doll they used couldn't hold a candle to that shit.
And especially like her sitting in the rocking chair is what gave me the vibe. Is the rocking chair and that mannequin,
the lighting of that room too, it always feels like there's these candles off to the side that you can kind of see flickering, but it really wasn't. I mean, I know this was early on. They were probably trying to make it look like this was a time before electricity and shit like that, but the whole setting of that, if that was Bava's idea, whoever did the sets for that shit, oh man, like they nailed it. As far as being creepy, it's like one of those things, like we said before, like you'd walk in a particular situation in an environment, you feel like you're either picking fucking cobwebs or spider webs off of you. In that room, like you just feel like if you walked in there, like you would probably have some respiratory problems because everything looks like it's covered in mold. It's like it's that
dust,
that dingy, yeah.
It's got like 5 inches of dust and shit.
Like a fucking maid hasn't cleaned in there in like fucking 6 centuries. You know what I mean?
It's atmosphere, man. That's Bava. Tone, vibe, atmosphere, the color. I mean, I know we're talking that to death, but it's just. I mean, it's hard to describe, any other way. Like the way he does the use of his colors, his lighting, all that.
It's
shit.
such a simple but so effective story as well. I don't know if you guys watched the American version as well in preparing for this, but they actually do a strange thing where they put the stories in different order. It does.
Yeah, because the first one is supposed to be like about
the telephone.
No, is it?
Yeah, the first story of Black Sabbath is the telephone, I believe.
See, on this one, on the one I got,
right,
which I'm guessing is the American, the first story is the drop of water.
Yeah.
And then the second story is the telephone. And then the third story is
the Verdal Act. Yeah.
What is it called?
The Verdal Act.
Yeah,
the Verdal Act.
About the vampire.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
On
this right here, the telephone is even says it on the back of the synopsis when it breaks down all three for you in order. It goes the telephone first, and then the drop of water. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember saying it correctly.
Yeah, they mixed it up.
I think that's the best way to watch
this
it.
One is drop of water first, and then telephone's in the middle. That's weird.
Yeah,
plus, I think with the telephone as well, it's kind of in the American version of the telephone. There's they cut out
something about a lesbian.
Yeah,
affair.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, because of the sleaze they didn't want.
It's not on this one. Yeah, it's not
exactly,
on. Exactly.
Yeah, it's in the original, and that's the original is the only really way to watch this because it completely fucks up the order and completely fucks up the actual.
Okay, I was wondering because Kino has an attack. That's kind of messed up with Kino in a way because they got.
Didn't they give you the 2 options then on that?
They got two different releases of this. They got the Italian.
Oh, right.
And the American, and I didn't grab the Italian.
Right, I'm with you now.
So I'm gonna have to go grab that or get the damn Arrow because I'm sure the Arrow's got both cuts. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Get the Arrow for sure.
But I've never even seen the US cut.
Bitch too much with Kino because I mean their price point, dude.
100%. Yeah, it's. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm telling you, as big of a fan of this movie as I am, and I've watched it numerous times, even with the family and everything else. I've never watched the U.S. version. I've always put the disc in and went for the Italian cut. Always.
Yeah.
So, right. It's
I'll definitely go back and get the U.S. one a chance.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, just to see that because the whole telephone story is completely different.
It's kind of off-putting.
It's weird. It's really weird.
Off-putting this telephone story on the American.
The craziest thing though is, especially even for the rating system, man, like that relationship, it's not like it dives into anything sexual on screen though. For the lesbians though,
that's right. Yeah. It's kind of there, it's there, but it's just totally.
But it was cut out
because
of the time
from the US. Yeah.
Was that 64 as well? 63.
63, I think. Yeah.
Really on.
By the time it came out in America, it was probably 64.
Okay.
But yeah, that drop of water, I think, is probably
Yeah,
best.
definitely.
Like,
I think
to me, it's the best segment.
everybody agrees on that. I'm pretty sure Drop of Water is the best.
I love the telephone as well because I'm obviously a big Jello fan, but
yeah,
it's hard to compete with a Drop of Water. I mean,
also wanted to bring that up about the telephone. So this predates Black Christmas.
Yep.
As far as the killer on the telephone.
No matter what we're talking about with Dirk, it always comes back around to Black Christmas somewhere.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, Black Christmas is the first one that did it.
Yeah,
we thought.
Hey, you're fucking spot on the money. I mean, yeah, that was before Black Christmas, and there you go. That's the whole premise, the whole setup right there.
And that's like a decade before, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We got it, man. So who knows, man? Maybe Bob Clark was watching that segment, and he was like, "I got a great idea."
Right.
This was actually Bava's favorite film. I was reading up on.
Really?
The favorite film he directed. Yeah, he actually come forward and says that.
Wow.
He said also, I'm especially interested in stories that focus on one person. If I could, I would tell only these stories. What interests me is the fear experienced by a person alone in the room. It is then that everything around them begins to move, menacingly around, and we realize that the only true monsters are the ones that we carry in ourselves.
There you go.
Yeah,
Fucking beautifully put.
I've seen some stuff about. Well, it was Lamberto talking, and he said that Mario, his dad, wanted to believe in ghosts, but there was no 100% proof. But he didn't completely discredit it either. So
they considered it a rule breaker, though. When you introduce ghost into it, especially if you're working with like a giallo piece, you've already done broke the rule right there because you've done let it become out of someone's actual physical hands. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, it damn near made it, but then after watching everything that I watched,
What's both you guys' thoughts on the Virgil act then? That story. Did you like it?
I like it, man. I dig it. I dig Boris Karloff. Like, I really, I like it, man, a lot. And a lot of people shit on it.
Yeah, I was surprised at that. I like it, but I wouldn't. It's not my. It's my least favorite.
I don't love it. It's my least favorite of the three. But but I still think it's
still got that whole atmosphere in it.
And that's also the
last Black Sunday type atmosphere.
That's the last time when you before Boris Karloff got really bad off. Like, he died. He did another film after that, but I'm trying to remember. I can't think of the name of the film he did after that one. But this is the last time where you see Boris actually still pretty healthy,
Yeah, but did you realize over the Boris Karloff part of this film, he kind of caught bronchitis due to the, on the set of this film, which kind of fucking almost killed him, or pretty much.
I didn't know that. I don't know really.
He wasn't the same guy.
Yeah,
apparently.
About.
Apparently, that's what he's saying. He blamed, of it being caught on this film.
He probably caught the fucking bronchitis from that goddamn moldy ass room they were in.
Yeah, probably so. But it's kind of like the Headless Horseman vibe and shit, in a way.
Yeah. And he does the whole, Bava thing at the end, where we see, again, it's not spoiling anything, when we see Karloff on the, on the horse, and then it pans away to see what's actually, going on. But that was on the original release, but not on the American release. So yeah, kind of weird, why they would do that.
Yeah, man, can't go wrong with Black Sunday, dude. Like, I'm really tripped out. It didn't make my top 5. I
again,
sure thought it was going to be in my top 5. I was like,
he's an innovator again, because how many, kind of these type of stories was before this? I can't think of it.
Another anthology movie?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There possibly was, but I can't think of any.
Yeah. But this is definitely like, in the fall, you throw this shit on, man. I know I'll watch it. I watch it at least once a year, for sure.
I was just trying to think of the Severin release that we got. It was called Tales of the Uncanny, and it literally describes all the history of all anthologies. And there was the anthologies like back in like 1911. But
oh damn,
was that really?
Yeah.
Wow. I've
Okay.
heard of that documentary. I've never seen it. Seems like right up my alley, actually.
It was done during COVID, so basically the whole documentary is kind of like one big Zoom call. But they are actually showing snippets of the actual films they're talking about in between hand. And going over a lot of the history. But yeah, Black Sabbath is like one of those like praised ones when they finally do get to that era. But just to find out that there was like 50 years of those things before Black Sabbath even happened. I was like, whoa, like fuck, I didn't know they went back that far. So
I didn't know that at all.
I guess actual film started like in 1897, I think.
Silent film era.
Yeah.
But inside that release though for Severin, they actually, and if you got the limited edition version, they actually include 2 anthologies, and one of them in there is, if I want to believe, it's 1931 or 1933. There's another one in there, so I think both of them are from the 30s. So yeah, those anthology flicks, they did date back, but nobody was calling it an anthology film at that point. That's just something we developed that was very kind of modern.
Yeah,
right. I just thought of one off the top of my head as well. There was one called Dead of Night with Adventure at the Quest Dolly. I think that was 1945. So yeah, maybe wasn't so much
going back.
Yeah, man. Well, man, it's like, what is it? What's your number 4, Darren? Have we already talked about it?
Yeah, Twitch of the Death Nerve was on number 4.
Yep. I guess we're on our number 5 then, because my number 4 is what is it? Girl Knew Too Much was my number 4.
Right. Yeah.
So this being the last one right here. Of course, this is another toss up too, because I just got to see both of these flicks kind of back to back, around the same time. And this was just within a week or two. But so I had to pick one out of between the both of them, and I'm gonna go with this one just because I like the story a little bit. I guess I'd say a little bit better. But it was going to be either Kill Baby Kill or this one right here, which is Lisa and the Devil. And I'm going to go for Lisa and the Devil.
Yeah, man.
That was an experience right there for sure. I can already tell you, it's one of those flicks. I've only seen it once, and I know I'm going to go right back to this movie looking for something. And I know I'm going to find it because it's just one of those films that you're probably going to watch 3 or 4 times. You're going to pick up these little things as it goes.
I'm glad you brought it up, dude. It didn't make my list, but it's number 6. And
number 6.
It very well can make my list on a rewatch for sure.
There you go, man. Yeah. Next week it could be something different. Like I said before, we could do this all again next week, and somebody be done fucked up their list or something.
Right. But Lisa and the Devil, yeah, man. Definitely don't want to spoil it for nobody. I don't think you can really, though. At the same time, in a way you can, but in a way you can't. It's like it's very ambiguous, you know. There's some things going on in that damn movie for sure. Telly Savalas is. I'll let you take the floor. My bad, it's your pick, dude.
No, keep going, man. You definitely break it down, man. Especially with, man. Like I said, I went back and forth between that or Kill Baby Kill, and the only reason why I watched Kill Baby Kill is because you had even told me about it, and I had it sitting over on the shelf. Didn't even fucking know I had it, and I was like,
yeah.
But yeah, I guess story wise, man. I'm sitting here contradicting myself now just thinking about it, but yeah, fuck it. I'll go with Lisa and the Devil. You say that the mystery element to me though is not ramped up to 10 though. I mean, nothing like that is not.
No, it kind of tells you shit right out the gate.
They give it to you pretty much.
They don't spoon feed you though. What's really going on? You know, that's
so. I've never seen this one, right? So, what would you say? What's the plot to this then?
It's kind of hard to explain the plot. Damn, how would you explain it without ruining it? But at the same time, I don't think you can ruin it because this movie is probably, out of all Bava's movies that I've seen, is open for interpretation. It is not cut and dry, one way type of film. You know, I can get different things probably every time I watch it. Kind of like
the evil of man over lust and greed. I mean, it all boils down to that shit.
Yeah, these people are all sinners, right? Nobody's innocent again. Bava likes that theme, I guess. He don't. Everybody's guilty of some shit. Telly Savalas is gold, dude. He is gold in this movie, and it's funny because there's scenes where you'll see him smoking, and then there's scenes where he's, eating a lollipop. So I know from watching the old school show Kojak back in the day.
Yeah.
He always had a lollipop, but he was trying to quit smoking. They didn't have the patch and shit back then.
Right.
I'm trying to think too, because this is one of the Bava's films right here. I believe that I don't think there's another film that he really touched that much on like a spiritual aspect, because it's God and the devil all the way.
Yeah.
Even the fucking butler in this movie is like an open like fucking satanic like worshiper basically.
So what year was this? Was this 74 or 75?
It's 74, I believe.
So it came a year after The Exorcist, yeah.
And of course, we got the alternate title, which I believe wasn't that. If I'm not mistaken, I think the alternate title was for the fact that it was in another region. And what was that, Dirk? It's like the House of Exorcism. I think it is.
Yeah, House of Exorcism.
Because we had just talked about it, and I think they were going to try the production company was going to ride the coattails of the success from The Exorcist and bring it over to the U.S. I would assume with that cut.
Yeah, the House of Exorcism actually, from what I understand, I haven't watched it yet, but they added scenes where there's a priest in there, and there's just these added scenes that really take away from the Lisa and the Devil story. You know what I mean? So
I can tell you this too, like
it's very dreamlike reality in Lisa and the Devil.
100%.
It's dreamlike reality all the way.
I was going to say this too. As I was kind of like prepping for this, getting everything ready, I would actually pop the cellophane open on, which I believe is one of Bava's last films. What Dirk was telling me about, which is a movie called Shock.
Yeah,
that he had done. Right. And of course, we all know that that's Argento's ex-wife in that flick. Yeah. And as much as I wanted to like that movie, man, like it's got its own moments and everything, but Jesus Christ, man, there was just that was definitely different for Bava for me. I was just like, by the time the credits rolled on that.
Yeah. It's so weird you saying that, because we done the Euro Cult podcast a while back, and like that.
But that makes sense, Johnny, because
recently seen, I didn't like it at all.
That makes sense that you don't like Shock, because guess what? From this movie Shock,
I
feel like, and I might be reaching, but you tell me if I'm not. Tell me if I am or I ain't. I feel like the Babadook.
Right, yeah.
I can see the Babadook vibe from the kid anyway. Like the fucking annoying bastard kid.
That kid is annoying, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Maybe
like Johnny said, it's got
or nothing, but
like Johnny said, it's got its moments. It's got
this is my least favorite Bava.
That's your least favorite? Okay, shit.
Yeah, I don't care for this one.
Speaking of like magic moments, like there was one particular scene that stands out in that movie, and of course the dad being a pilot. So whenever the kid's sitting outside and he's swinging the swing to make the airplane have turbulence in the sky, we actually see that he took a thumbtack and pressed his dad's photo into the swing while he's pushing. I'm like, damn, that's clever writing. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
But there's not enough substance in that movie to keep you going though. Neither. It's just like, okay,
Daria Nicoletti, she does a great job. Yeah.
But gosh, she's annoying. She's annoying. Like to me, she's annoying as that kid. Like I get sick of seeing her on the screen. I know she's beloved because that's Argento's wife. She's done all this shit, especially getting that deep red fame and all that, man. But after a while, man, it's just like, all right, I'm kind of tired of seeing.
How you like that screaming with the brick wall and shit?
Yeah, it was as much as I wanted to like it, man. I had high hopes for it too, because I was like, damn, like I think that was like one of those titles like I picked up on day one whenever Arrow released it.
Oh yeah,
and
I got it on a sale. And
the one benefit I got from it though is there's actually a nice, like I think it's about 40 minutes. It's a documentary basically of his son Lamberto Bava talking about his father's work, and I enjoyed that. So I was like, okay, not a complete loss here on the full price for this.
I think there's something to do with Stephen Thrower on there as well. It might be an interview.
Absolutely.
And I've seen it. And I've seen it twice now. I like it better on the second time, but it's still, out of all the Bavas, it's my least favorite. I don't think Bava, this ain't 100% him anyway. I think Lamberto
It doesn't
took
feel
over.
like it. It doesn't
It's-
feel
I
like
don't
it at
think.
all.
Yeah. I think it's more Lamberto than it is Mario.
Right.
If I'm honest.
He was sick during this one.
Okay.
So
I saw it like 15 years ago. I didn't like it then. But I thought with the Arrow release, give it a go. It's going to look, amazing and all that.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't do anything for me. And it's not like I don't like a slow burn, because I do, but it just doesn't seem to go anywhere.
let me catch the chat right quick. Let's see, where am I at? Okay, Anthony's saying that scene in Deep Red where he's chirping away at that paint and it reveals the picture. That shit was creepy as hell. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And Texas is talking about the Bogdanovich film. I think he's talking about Boris Karloff.
Yeah, 1968, I think.
And then now we were having a perfectly great time, and then you had to bring up the damn Babadook movie. I was just saying, man, I maybe I reached too far, but I feel like this might have inspired that damn movie.
You could be right, man. You could be right.
This kid's fucking annoying as fuck to me. I don't know, but
honestly, though, if you had to take your pick, like here you are.
Yeah,
you got
damn sure that the Babadook kid definitely wins the annoying competition.
Yeah. I was about to ask too, like if you had to take your pick, like what you gonna suffer through? What's your pick? Is it gonna be watching Shock again or watching Babadook? I'm going with Shock.
Shock. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Shock, man. Yeah, sure. And then so Texas laughing. But yeah, man. I'm kind of all over the place and shit. Where we at? Number 5? Who's picking?
Yes, sir.
Not sure if it was mine, but mine's already been gone.
Oh, that was your pick, Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Lisa and the Devil was your pick. Yeah.
Number 5, yep.
Lisa and the Devil, man, I know we talked about it a little bit briefly. It's really hard to explain that movie without spoiling it. I think it's his most ambiguous film. Am I wrong saying that? Or
it's like you said, I'd say like the dream atmosphere of that movie. One thing I wanted to do, man, is I even told Darren this a while ago, like one thing that you was hyping for me was to watch Rabid Dogs, and I did not get to that, unfortunately. And I had you was like telling me like, dude, like with your personality, you're gonna love the fucking grisliness of this movie.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate because I just didn't get to it, but it's just like high priority. Like The Girl Who Knew Too Much. There's another one right there. There's 2 Bava films I haven't seen. There's another one sitting right there I got from Kino, and it's called 4 Times That Night.
Four times that night.
And I still haven't watched it because I'm just looking at the cover and the synopsis, and I'm just like, I can kind of see where there might be some sleaze to it, but it feels like it's probably not going to be right up my alley. But of course, I'll give it a spin. But unfortunately, that was another one I didn't get to neither.
Right. But man, I guess it's on me then. Or
what was your number 5 there?
Good pick, Darren.
Mine was Blood and Black Lace, number 5.
Blood and Black Lace.
All right. So, yep. It's on me, man. It's Rabid Dogs, aka Kidnapped. And highly recommend this one, man. This is like, you pop this shit on, you're gonna see Bava, like you're gonna be able to tell it's Bava, but it's his sleaziest damn movie that he's made. I mean, I'll give you a rough synopsis. 3 armed robbers that are sloppy as fuck. They rob the Johnnie pharmaceutical company's payroll. They get the cops on their ass right away. So then they kidnap this man, this lady, this father and his son that's sick. His son's sick. They kidnap him. Like the dude's driving with his son, but they already got the girl from trying to make their getaway, and they're trying to get out of town, get the cops off their ass. And what's the guy's name? George Eastman, right? Been an Absurd, real tall dude. He's been an Anthropophagus and Absurd.
He's doing Erotic Nights of the Living Dead as well.
Yeah, he's super fucking scumbag. All 3 of these guys are fucking the epitome of scumbag. If you ever seen one on screen. And I think I did write down how much they got away with. It was equivalent to, let's see, Maybe I didn't write it down. My bad. I'm all over the place over here, y'all. But yeah, it's not a lot of money. You know, it's maybe I think it equaled like $100,000 or something. But I guess back then it was a lot. But it's a road trip to hell is the best way to describe this movie. It's kind of like Bava's version of Last House on the Left.
Really?
So it starts out as
Wow.
like cat and mouse, and then turns out to be something a little bit more grisly down the line. Is that basically what
Fuck
you're saying?
yeah, dude! Like the end, I promise you're not gonna figure out this end. No way in hell you'll figure out the end of this movie. And I'm sure as hell ain't spoiling it. But these three guys, man, are like fucking hey, dude. Like, I'm trying to think. Doc is like the leader, and then you got Blade. He's just a goon. You know, he's after the heist and shit. This is just the beginning of the movie. After the heist, he's got a chick, and all the cops are got their guns on. It's more like a Policio Teskey type of film, but sleazy as shit. And all the cops are drawn down on him. Blade has got his knife up to the chick's throat, and they got another female that they're kidnapping. Well, Blade just kills the chick in front of the cops and shit. You're like, what the fuck, right? Like I said, this is the opening though. I'm not spoiling anything really.
I think that's in the trailer as well. Not that I don't remember the killing, but obviously they're in the car in the trailer, and it looks really good.
And then it's just a fucking balls to the wall, fast paced, you know, all the way, man. Hell of a good time, man. If you like the sleaze.
So you'd say
like you're not going to be able to tell this is Mario Bava.
Yeah, sure. Would you say this is as good as like Lenzi's police films or crime films?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, man. I would put this
because this is the one. This and Lisa and the Devil is a two that I didn't get around to. I burned them onto a disc and everything to watch.
Yeah. You need to check both of those for sure, man. Lisa and the Devil.
I will. I'll be on
would be my number 6. And I think on a couple more watches, it might knock something else out. You know, I don't know. But
damn, I wish I would have got to watch that flick, man. Jesus Christ. I'm about to. Does Kino still sell that physical right there, Dirk?
I think they got it on there.
Okay.
But this is the cut too, because I watched a special feature on it. Lamberto's talking about it. That the kidnap cut is the cut to get. So this is the proper one. Unlike Black Sabbath.
Right, can you remember? Did I put that in my order? Do you know, for Kino? Can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think you got kidnapped.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, because I just sent him a package from the Kino cell.
Right, I'll have to go next time.
But man, this is like anxiety, fucking. I mean, you hate these sons of bitches. Like they're just, you know. Maybe I'm talking it up too much. Don't let me talk it up too damn much now.
No, it's always good to see your passion, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what else. It just shows the master at work. Like I said, a lot of people call Argento the maestro. Yeah, I got to call Bava the maestro, the master of Italian horror.
Right.
You know, the master of the macabre. I mean, the originator, right?
I don't think anyone can argue the fact that you just. I would actually, you know, I'm a massive Argento fan, as you know, and Argento's my number 1. But Bava will probably make my top 5 easily. I mean,
yeah, I think Bava's because I got Fulci number 1. You know that.
But, yeah. I probably got Fulci.
I got Fulci, then Argento, and then it's going to probably be Bava.
Yeah, I'd probably put Martino and Bava like really close.
Yeah, Martino's in there too.
Reasons, but yeah,
and Lindsay. Yeah,
Lindsay maybe would creep in to my number 5 possibly.
Right.
But yeah, man.
The final plot twist though on Kidnapped, aka Rabid Dogs, is you're not going to see that shit coming. No way.
Right, completely left field, is it?
Blindsided hit. Put it that way, though. It's a blindsided hit. You're like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna try and get around to watching them this week. The two of them actually, that and Lisa and the Devil. 'Cause I know from what you've been saying, like I know I'm gonna like him to a certain extent anyway, because we've got similar tastes. But
yeah,
yeah,
man. I put this head to head with Almost Human from Lindsay.
Wow, yeah.
I would.
Talking about Almost Human, don't want to get off topic. Do you know if we're doing a Eurocult tomorrow? Is it tomorrow?
Last I heard, yeah.
It is it? So I make sure I watch that again tonight then.
Yep, last I heard. Yeah, man, and anybody, everybody checking it out, man. If y'all, Anthony's in the chat. Anthony's Horror More. I mean, subscribe to him. Check it and subscribe to Johnny, man. Johnny's got tons of content, dude. I don't
Sorry
know.
about that. I had some technical
No, you're
difficulties there with the audio. It just completely
That's
cut
all
out
right.
on me. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, man. No, you good. But
I was going to tell you too, man. You just spoke of that. I know you'd already did it as a special guest with Johnny's Boutique podcast. Unfortunately, since the whole thing with Instagram, though, I'll be changing the name of my YouTube channel. I'm just going to change the name of it. I'm not going to delete it or anything, but I'll change the name of it so I can, I guess, make a new IG, I guess, and
okay.
that way I can kind of link it to it because after that whole thing with getting hacked, that was
actually to tell everybody the truth. I mean, Johnny's the first show I ever went on before, when I first started doing any of this. Him and Alan Pop's Movie Dungeon kind of, I was checking out their streams and they kind of inspired me, right along there with Dead Pit, but Johnny was the first actual stream I went on. So, and he was doing that 21 questions, which was awesome.
Yep. Just think that was like last year, I think, at this point, right? Yeah,
man. Year. It wasn't long. Yeah. I've had a channel for 1 year now.
There you go.
I think I've recently subscribed to Johnny, so I want to go back and watch quite a few of his earlier.
Johnny's, man, he's got a lot. He's got a lot of stuff like you could put it on. He's got some long ones, so you could put it on, and he'll go through some shit though, man.
That's
he's very good.
I like that.
I'd come back here and sit down with a box full of stuff and a couple beers and a pack of cigarettes and be like, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got for the next 3 hours.
Right. Hell yeah, man. But like I said, dude, I love that shit because I go to work, man. I'm 8-hour day, 10-hour day. I need some shit to listen to, check some shit.
Johnny, I don't know if you watch, do you watch a guy called Mood 616?
A guy called what?
Mood 616. He's on 22 Shots of Horror podcast. He's on YouTube. He's quite a big YouTuber. But you kind of give me that vibe, his vibe, because of the way you talk and everything. And it's good, man. But if you get a chance, check him out. But
you said it was a guy called Mood 616?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like quite a big YouTuber, and you definitely give me his vibe, which is good, and the way you talk and everything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're all nerds at the end of the day.
Right. I was gonna say, man, we could flip through some titles. Do y'all got any others by you that you want to show or anything of Bava?
I've got a few written down. I think everyone's seen Kill Baby Kill, haven't they?
Yeah, I was just gonna show the stack of Bava shit that I got that didn't make the top 5, but
Yeah, go on. We'll do that then. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Hatchet for the Honeymoon, which is pretty trippy ass movie. It's it is what it is.
I tell you, I was really, because I'd seen it before, and I kind of half liked it, but I was really disappointed going back to it.
Yeah.
About the box set.
Yeah. Okay, that's a killer version.
I highly recommend this release, but in terms of the film, I don't know.
It's 88 films, right?
Yeah.
That's 88. This Kino Redemption, those Redemption line.
Have you seen Hatchet for the Honeymoon, Johnny?
I haven't.
Okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't talk you off it totally. I think it might. Might be.
It's not a bad one by no means.
It's not a bad one. It's just not. It just doesn't compete with his other films, really.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I highly recommend the Whipping the Body, man.
Oh, I need to see that one,
Lee.
Yeah, man. It's just so weird seeing like when I'm watching this, it's not Christopher Lee's voice. Just it trips me out. I was like, why not? Why the hell not? Because I mean, but
You gonna upgrade that to the 88 films release, Dirk?
this one here,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe.
Because if you want it, mine,
This
just let me know.
looks really good. Really, really good.
If you want the 88 films release, right, just let me know and I'll get it for you.
Okay. Sure. Hell yeah.
Just let me know, that's all.
Then you got the same one, right, Johnny? Kill by Kill?
Yep.
This is
the exact same one.
This is the one that Martin Scorsese said that this is Mario Bava's masterpiece.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Out of all his films, he said this is his masterpiece. But
I need to get a Blu-ray of that because I've only got this shitty DVD.
and then we already showed that one, the Kidnap, Rabid Dogs. But dude,
yeah, I'm gonna be buying that very quick.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one that didn't quite make my list.
What's that?
One that didn't quite make my list, but I absolutely love is this one, Baron Blow.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just watched it, and I like it. I like it, but
yeah,
there's no way it could push out the 5 that I got.
Yeah, for a long time that was maybe in my number 5 spot, but I just couldn't in the end. I couldn't put that over like Blood and Black Lace, you know, in the end for obvious reasons. But I like it's just such a like fun kind of cheesy sort of slasher to me.
Right.
But it's got that Black Sunday kind of vibe as well. But
I like this one, man. I can't say that everybody will like that one, you know. But I liked it, man. I like the original. I like that shit right there.
I've heard good things about that one.
But I can't say that this is for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it definitely can see Hooper's Life Force as well. I didn't mention that. It's a lot like Hooper's Life Force in a way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Alien. So it just tripped me out.
I take it no one's seen this one.
No. What the hell is that?
No, not me. Knives of the Avenger.
It's like, no, nobody saw this.
I got it and I haven't even seen it.
I mean, I'm glad Kino had all these Babas, though, man. Because, I mean...
Yeah, they got a collection.
The Bava collection.
I've got one right here, man. I probably had it on the shelf, man, for at least a couple of years, and I still haven't kind of worked myself up to watch it. It doesn't seem like one of those movies I'm probably even really going to like. But in all fairness, it's a Bava film, but that's the movie I was telling you earlier, 4 Times That Night.
Yeah, man.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it seems like to me, like looking at the back of it, you got like a half-naked chick, pretty much. She's pretty much almost all the way naked, but it seems like it's going to be like, all right, this might be something I like because it's going to be sleazy and nudity. And then I kind of read the synopsis of it, and I'm just like, okay, it's just basically 2 people who end up having sex after meeting in a public park, and then I guess it just seems like it's more lust than it is anything else in the synopsis. And I'm like, I kind of want some greed sprinkled in with it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got, man. As far as I think it was a pretty good stream, man. I think we covered Bava pretty well.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, man.
You guys are thorough as always, man. You guys are sitting over here with fucking notebooks and all kinds of shit.
Right. I hope that I did, man. I hope there ain't somebody screaming out of there. You motherfucker! You left this shit out. This is the most important shit.
I hope people like, obviously, you know, just like watching these, hopefully, and we've had some good feedback.
Yeah.
And as long as
we got 12 people in here, man. Shit. That's
I always say to Dirk, even if we got like 2 or 3 people, you know, I'd be happy anyway.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Plus, this is
going off into the eternity of YouTube, so
yeah.
Everybody that's just now giving us a listen, you know, a year, 2 years from now, 100 years from now, who knows? Some fucking alien life form might come across this shit and be like, oh shit, who the fuck's this Mario Bava motherfucker?
Talking about reaching far, right?
Yeah, maybe I'm reaching. But But yeah, man. Is there anything y'all want to talk about or add or?
Man, I just hey, like I said, man, super thanks to you guys for having me on, man. You guys are doing a great fucking job. Keep them coming. If there's you guys got anything else that's lined up, man, that you I'll be more than happy to come on again with you guys, man. Depends on what you cover, you know, if I even have any knowledge on it, because you guys come with
Man,
notebooks and all kinds of shit. So I'm sitting
Right.
here like, yeah, I've seen a
you've
couple of those
been
movies.
more than welcome back on, man. I've enjoyed.
Oh yeah,
I've
for
enjoyed
sure.
it.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it, man. It was an honor jumping on with you guys, man.
Yeah,
Enjoyed the
man.
last
And
2
you've
episodes, man.
like
Y'all keep on
yourself,
coming.
Johnny, have come up with some stuff that even I didn't know. You know, I think
Yeah,
it's
man.
been a good three-way conversation, and everyone's had a good, things to
Yeah,
say.
Johnny loves movies just as much as we do, man. For sure.
I'm glad I brought something to the table, man, because I was listening to those first 2 episodes and I was like, God damn, they got the encyclopedia on this shit.
No, man, I
Darren
think
comes with more facts than I do. I mean,
you've done a really good job, I think.
But
Yeah,
it all breaks down those commentaries and shit. You know, whether we're all grabbing some books that's film related to, man, that's always a huge plus, man, to dive into shit. But those commentaries, I'm telling you, that's the bread and butter of a lot of these releases. And a lot of people don't, even their favorite movies, they won't even listen to the actual commentary if it's the directors on there talking about it or the producer, whoever it may be. It's like, ugh, you're missing out. Go for it.
yeah, I find that crazy because I hear that a lot too, and people don't go back to commentaries or people just obviously we want the film looking as good as we can, but I fucking live for those extras, like
yeah, man. That's the only thing with Kino that they're lacking a little bit, but you know,
for that price point, man, you can't bitch.
You
So,
can't
man,
beat 'em
they're giving
with
you the
their
best sale, the
transfers.
best deal.
Their transfers are killer. So.
Yep.
I got like 10 titles in that sale for £80, 80 UK pound. I was like, fuck me, man.
Yeah.
I probably only get like 2 or 3 over here, you know.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Let's see. I got Anthony. The Johnny movie unboxings are fucking legendary. Yes, they are, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Holland said, hell yeah. Yeah, man. He knows what's up. The aliens love a good slasher film. Yeah. Hell yeah. Trini said, great stuff later. Yeah, man. I appreciate it, dude. Stay to the end. While Wrangler says, thanks, y'all, chat. Dirt, Q-Boy, 2K5, and Johnny's podcast. Yep.
Good to have you on board, man.
Sorry, Johnny's. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You good, brother.
Great stream, guys. Y'all kept it interesting. Awesome. Thanks, babe. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, is there like I said, are you planning on anything in the future pretty soon or anything, Johnny? I ain't trying to put you on the spot. I just anything in mind? Or...
As for now, man, like I told you before, probably just the way I'm going to keep it right now, man, is just I have the most funnest when I hop on. Actually, have somebody to talk to, have similar interests with.
Yeah, man.
That whole thing with sitting here in front of a camera and it's just me. I went to go try to do that again when me and Anthony was doing the exploitation station, and I was having a hard time, man. That was
yeah, it's harder by yourself for sure.
Yeah, I had to go back to that mentality, and I just couldn't do it. I was just I was uncomfortable with it and everything. I was just like, fuck, man. I just rather just do live streams and get on there and actually conversate with people. That's the funnest part of it.
Yeah, man.
But
hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely for like the future. For right now, man, it's all going to be about the live streams, communicate with another, human being, not just me talking to myself. But that's about it, though.
Okay, cool, man. But let's see. Steve said, "Awesome picks, guys. Need to go shopping now." Yeah, man. Hopefully, we gave you some good recs.
Yeah, man. Get that Kino sale.
Great stream. Thanks as always. Thanks, Texas, man. Texas.
Yeah,
awesome.
cheers. Thanks.
You got Kate Winslet in the chat. What the hell? Needs more drowning in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Well, man, I guess I'm gonna hit the outro, and then we're gonna get out of here, man. Unless there's something else y'all want to bring up or whatever.
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good deal. We're at like 3
Thanks
hours.
for having me on, fellas.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, Johnny, man. Anytime. Like,
yeah,
definitely gonna get you back on for sure.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Y'all take care, and I am going to hit this outro, which is, you can tell I am professional, but
Much love, everybody.